Now I feel like to sneeze. So I did a quick Goog, and I have no reason why. Like, I have no idea why the gifting is restricted, but I guess it's not that big of a deal. I'm just gonna lose my fans. I'm going in on my other TikTok account to see if it would let my other TikTok account. I'm going in on my. Yeah, on my other TikTok account, gifting is good. I'm gonna gift myself. Watch. Watch. Peep. Peep game. Because I was giving gifts the other day. There she is. That's me. I'm doing that to myself. That's so funny. All right. So it works. It works for me at least. It says that it like the connection looks really crappy on my end. Does it look really fuzzy for you guys? Cause whoa, on my phone it looks. I can't show you because it's gonna do something weird. Well, that's lame. Let me see if I can like get myself closer to my Wi-Fi and see if that makes a difference. Ugh. TikTok is TikTok, and TikTok is fucking unusable. No, I would not be interested in a Quran. No thanks. Okay. Let's see if this makes outfit of the day. Oh my gosh, you can see me in my mirror. That's crazy. There's a mirror right there. Okay, I got myself like inches closer. Proudly ignorant. Yes, you are. You are very proudly ignorant. The Quran is beautiful, only to pedophiles and abusers. And I guess the ones getting abused. Cute outfit. These are like my jams. Well, I'll show you. The top is not pajama. I will be wearing this top today. Bottoms, I wore those to bed last night. So yeah. But I thought I could be comfy on the bottom because it's not like y'all even see what's going on down here. Crystal, I see you, but I'm gonna try. Yeah, they're like sweat shorts. Comfortable as fuck. I'm gonna try to get a Christian in here, but it might not work. Might not work. I'm not sure if this is a Christian or not.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
So why do you think God's a meanie?
Well, first of all, how old are you for TikTok purposes?
I am over 30.
Sweet. That's all I need. It let me send 2 gifts and then stop me. That's crazy. I got to send myself like 50 coins worth of gifts just now, and it didn't. And the only reason it stopped me is because I didn't have any more coins on my other account. Okay. Why do I think God is a meanie? Well, also, are you Christian? What God do you
I
believe
am,
in?
yeah. I believe in
Well,
Jesus
the
Christ.
reason that I think God is a meanie is because I read the Bible and I just saw he did a lot of mean stuff in there.
Like, can you give me an example of something mean God did?
Genocide,
Against who?
human beings that he created,
Like, oh, you mean like the flood?
the flood, the Amalekites. He does a lot of genocide.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you don't believe in the justice of God then?
Why would I believe the justice of God if he's out here genociding innocent people?
Who said they were innocent?
Do you think that babies are capable of being guilty?
No, I don't.
So you think they're innocent too?
The babies, yeah, I do. I also think he had a
And he
plan for
has
those.
them genocided too. So he does genocide innocent people, and you knew that.
I also don't know that I necessarily believe in the literal flood, and I don't think you're required to believe in God.
Okay, you don't have to believe in the literal flood. Do you believe in 1 Samuel 15:3, where God says, go and attack all the Amalekites, including the infants and children?
Well, actually, I come from a paradigm that does not necessarily prescribe to the fact that the Bible is inerrant. So, when you have God prescribing through a prophet that things like genocide or racism or things like that happen, I would attribute those probably to a prophet stepping outside of what God has said to do.
So your stance is like the Bible just says a whole bunch of untrue stuff?
Yeah, I would say the Bible probably has some errors and some things that didn't happen or got, I'm going to say, maybe written down incorrectly or
So
not.
why believe in the Bible? And if you know that it's full of a bunch of untrue things, and also how do you decide what's true and what isn't? Is it like the things that you
Yeah,
like are the things that are true and the things that you don't like are the things that must be fake?
no, I think that's an excellent question. And I think that the Bible is useful and a beautiful tool insofar as it can bring you to know God as God really is. And the
But
God
wait,
that I
how could
know,
you know God as God really is if you think that the Bible is full of errors?
well, and that's the question, right? That's the how do we know God as God really is? And you'll have, I mean, the Bible alone, I think, is not enough. Clearly, it's not enough. We have the Bible, and we have, as a result of just the Bible, we've got how many different churches trying to follow it in how many different ways, believing in a lot of different things. And so I think there's more that you need there. I think there's
Well, I'm
missing
still asking
components.
the question. You think the Bible is a good way to know about God as he truly is, yet you also think it's full of a bunch of errors. So how do those two things work
Well,
out? Like
two things
how do you square that circle?
two things can be true at once. There can be true and beautiful things in a book, and it can still have things in it that either aren't true or are errors. I mean, it doesn't have to be either 100% true every single word or 100% false every
But
single word.
how do you
That's
know God
generally not
as
how
he
things work.
truly is if there's a bunch of things in there that aren't as
By,
he truly
as I
is?
said, by not relying solely on the Bible, there's other stuff, there's other ways.
But you said the Bible is a good way to know how God truly is.
In part.
And now you're saying you can't use the Bible to know how God truly is. You need other stuff too.
I said in part. I think there are parts
No,
of the
that's not what you
Bible.
said originally. That's what you're saying now because I'm pressing you with questions. You're changing your answer.
Okay. I mean, if that's what you want to say, that's fine. But I would say I'm clarifying. But yeah, sure.
So
I'll
how
concede
do
that.
you use the Bible to know how God truly is by also reading a bunch of other stuff that's not the Bible?
Well, not just by reading either. You can only really know God by developing a relationship with God, which I think you have to do through prayer and through religious observance and through all
Okay, and
kinds
then
of other
back to
stuff
my other
too.
question that you didn't answer.
Yeah.
How do you decide what's true and what isn't?
That's a really good question. And
Because to me, you're gonna say, or you're not gonna say it just flat out, but what it's gonna sound like is the things that are good that God does, the things that you think are good that God does is the true stuff. The things that are bad that God does is the stuff that's not true. That's what I feel like you're gonna say.
well, I need to break that apart a little bit because you asked me a couple big things there. So how do we recognize truth when we see it? That's like a fundamental question, right? And that's a big one.
No, I didn't
Um,
ask how do you recognize truth when you see it. I said how do you decide what in the Bible is true or isn't?
okay. Well, you can do a couple of things there if you want to go that route. Um, you can yield to what I would consider to be tradition and priesthood authority. You can compare it to other, like the words of the prophets that we have over time. So if you have one prophet who's disagreeing with a bunch of other
So
prophets, you
are there
rule
any
out the
like
exception.
are there any like authorities who you go to who say that the Amalekite slaughter didn't actually happen? Like who do you read? What religious authorities do you read that affirm that that never happened?
Oh, I would say I don't know that I have an authority that says that that didn't happen. That's more
So
of a personal
how did you
interpretation on my
decide
end.
that that never happened?
I didn't decide that never happened. I believe
Well,
that that is not what
you
happened.
don't think that it happened. What led you to that conclusion?
I think maybe it's more fair to say I hope that didn't happen. I don't know.
So exactly what I said before, the stuff you don't like is the stuff that you hope didn't happen, and the stuff you do like is the stuff that you think is true. Exactly what I said a couple of minutes ago, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
You have no real like process to figure out what is true or what isn't. It's just the stuff that I like, I'm gonna turn. Oh, he ran. He fucking ran. That's crazy. Oh god, this guy's gonna come and crash the fuck out, just like he's been crashing out in my DMs for days. Oh, he never even wanted to come up. He never even wanted to come up. Come on back, Matthew Davids. I saw you in the request and then you're still here. So how come you're gonna request and then not come up, Matthew? Is it because you don't want to get cooked again? You don't want to crash out publicly on my live? Honestly, that's fair. That's fucking fair. You just want to crash out privately in my DMs. That's fine. What was that? No, you didn't articulate well and then you ran away because you have no idea what you're saying, Steven. I have a feeling like this is my own Wi-Fi's problem of why they can't connect. But unfortunately, there's not a whole lot that I can do about that at this point in time. Let me see. Maybe, just maybe. I gotta turn off my ring light for a second. Maybe, just maybe, I can get myself even closer to my Wi-Fi. Because the phone that I'm streaming on is pretty much just like an iPod at this point. Because it's not connected to any like LTE or anything. Ooh, maybe I can hotspot myself. Big brain. Oh, well, that's gonna be like too much of effort. Hopefully I can just get someone to load in.
Hello.
There he is, the
Not your
crash out
Wi-Fi.
king himself.
I was just off of
Alrighty, so for TikTok purposes, how old are you? You're gonna have to
I'm
come up.
21.
For TikTok purposes, how old are you?
21. By the way, you don't need to do that. That's false.
I don't care. And you're a Christian. Why is God such a meanie?
All right, let's talk about 1 Samuel 15. Let's talk about how God genocides.
Yeah, I think genocide is wrong. You don't. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Anyways, that's a straw man. Anyways,
Well, do you think it was wrong when God did the genocide?
did I ever said genocide wasn't wrong? Yes or no?
Do you think it was wrong
Did I
when
ever
God
say
did the
it was
genocide?
not wrong to genocide? Yes or no?
Do you think it was wrong when God did the genocide?
What do you define as genocide?
Do you think it was wrong? You
What are you
already
defining
admitted that
genocide
it's
as?
you already admitted that it's a
What do you
genocide.
Want my
Dude, we're
my
not gonna
definition for
do
genocide?
this. We're not gonna
My
fucking do
definition?
this. You're either
Want my
going to
definition?
engage.
What's your definition?
You're the one who said that
Exactly.
it was genocide.
Exactly.
You came up here and said,
What
let's
are you
talk about
defining
1
as?
Samuel
What are you
15:3
defining
when
as
God
genocide?
genocides.
What are you defining as genocide?
Do you
What
guys
do you
see this
define
crash out?
as genocide?
This is,
Easy.
he's just crashing the fuck out. Like,
What is
relax,
genocide
dude.
defined as?
I want to talk to you. I want to have a debate, but I can't do that if you're gonna keep crashing the fuck out.
Define genocide.
You already admitted it's a genocide.
Define
So
genocide.
my definition of genocide is whatever the fuck you meant when you called it a
Okay,
genocide.
let me give my definition then. Okay.
You think it's a genocide. I think it's a genocide too. Why? Like, I don't know why you're stuck up in the weeds of the semantics. We
Identity
both
then,
agree
yeah.
that it's a genocide.
Well, if you mean the systematic killing of a people group based on their identity, then yes, the Bible records God commanding the destruction of certain nations.
Yeah, he
But you're
genocide.
applying a modern
So
term
why
to
do
an
you
ancient act of
think?
humanity.
Do you think that it was a good thing when God genocided the Amalekites?
So that's a
Wait,
false question. That's a false dilemma.
do you think it was a good thing when God commanded the genocide of the Amalekites?
I can't answer that question.
Do it. Answer
But
the
what I
question.
could tell you is,
Do
what I can
you
tell you
think
is,
it was a good thing when God commanded the genocide of the Amalekites? Also, don't mute Rat Soup. Rat Soup is our friend. I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to my moderators. One of my moderators muted Rat Soup, and Rat Soup is a friendly. So
yeah, I do think it's good to kill people that practice child sacrifice, ritual prostitution, and other evils for centuries.
all right.
God waited 400 years, right?
First of all,
So
you can't prove that
if people
can't prove that they did any of those things because it's not in the Bible. And also, the babies get genocided too. So even if you
Wait, we have
could prove that they did the things that you just listed, which you can't prove
evidence.
why are you crashing the fuck out? Stop crashing out. Stop crashing out. The way that this works is you say stuff and then I respond to it. And then while I'm responding to it, then you get to respond to my response. You don't just get to,
Wait,
you
so
do
you
not
can
just get to come up here and yap, yap,
so you
yap,
can
yap,
see that
yap,
God
yap,
did
yap,
not
and crash the fuck
command
out.
destruction. So you can see that.
I got a question for the chat. Does any of the almost
I'll be waiting for this on
150
YouTube.
people that are in here think
I'll wait for
that
this on YouTube.
Matthew is doing a good job? Does any of the almost 150 people in
Jesus
here
now
think
said it never
Matthew
says
is
in the
doing a
Bible
good job?
that they sacrifice children. That's a concession.
I haven't conceded to anything because you won't
Yes,
let
you
us
just
have
did.
this conversation.
You said the Bible
You're
never said.
fucking
You said the
scared,
Bible
which
never
is why
said.
you won't
You
shut the
said the
fuck up
Bible
and
never.
let me talk.
They sacrifice. That's a
Dude,
concession.
stop crashing out.
Define concession.
Stop crashing out.
Define concession. I'll stop.
I want to respond to what you said,
Stop.
but I can't respond to what
After
you
you define
said when you won't shut
After you
the
define
fuck up.
concession. Define concession.
I'll just drop you and then I'll tell you my response. You said that it's a good thing for God to slaughter a bunch of people when they're like child sacrificing and cannibalizing or whatever the fuck you said that they were doing. First of all, nowhere in the Bible does it say that they did those things. And second of all, even if the Bible did say that they did those things, which it doesn't, the babies didn't do those things. The babies aren't physically capable of doing those things. So you still have to deal with the fact, let's just pretend that all of the adults were doing all of those evil things that you just said that they were doing. They weren't, but let's pretend that they were. It doesn't make the baby slaughter good because the babies couldn't possibly have done any of those things. It's just, Matthew, I want to let you back up. I see you in the request, but like we cannot have a conversation when you're acting like this. There's no way to have a productive conversation when you're just crashing the fuck out and melting down on my live. So I'll let you back up one more time, but you have to act like an adult. You have to say your piece and then let me respond. And then you get to respond after that. Okay, we'll try this one more time. Is this the GOAT? This the one and only Hatim. I'm so happy to see you here. Oh, did you decide not to come up? Here, I'll even invite you back. But you have to act like an adult. We cannot proceed unless you understand how communication works. And in order to communicate with another person, you actually have to shut the fuck up, at least for a little while, to let the other person like say what they need to say. Okay? I have zero. Oh, he like left the whole fucking live. I'm gonna hear about this in the DMs later. Actually, I'm probably hearing about it in the DMs right the fuck now, honestly. He's probably sending me like 80 DMs. Gosh, I don't know who to fucking let up. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is what I've been dealing with in the DMs for the past few days from that fucking David guy, which sucks because, like, I actually want to have these conversations. Oh shit, he's back. All right, David, before we can continue,
All right, kick these guys out. These guys are
before we
legit.
can continue, do you understand how to have a conversation?
Yeah.
So you get to say things and then you get to shut up so I can respond to the things that you say, and vice versa, right?
In
No,
debates do we define our terms?
no more crashing out.
In debates do we define our terms?
No more fighting the mute button. Just
In
have a
Oh, okay.
conversation.
It's your time to be quiet and my time to talk. All right. So
No. So did you hear my response to what? Did you hear my response to your
You're already breaking
initial
your own
claim,
rules.
or do you want me to repeat
You're
it?
already breaking your own rules.
Did you hear my response to your initial claim, or do you want me to repeat it?
I heard it, but just go ahead and repeat it.
Okay. So you're claiming that it's good to slaughter the Amalekites because they were like
They sacrifice children,
genociding.
but it never
you
says that
have
they. It
to
never
shut
says. It
the
never
fuck
says that they
up.
chat.
You have to shut the
says
fuck
that.
up. All right.
already
You
know
are
what you said. I'll
not
still
you
man,
are
I'll
not
still
capable of having conversation. You are not capable of this. Like I've tried. I tried multiple times, but it's not like you have no self-control, David. No self-control. You told me to repeat myself, and then you fucking wouldn't shut the fuck up. Do you understand? You have no self-control. I don't know, but I'm having so much fun with this. Let's bring him back. He keeps requesting back up. I know, like he says he's an adult. I'm honestly not even convinced that he is. But like it's very easy to just have a conversation. Like I'm obviously like I'm not angry. I'm pretty chill right now. Honestly, I think it's really entertaining what he's doing. I don't know. Hey,
Hi,
Manu.
how are you?
Hi. How old are you?
I'm 40.
And do you believe in the Christian God?
Well, actually, I would like to ask you something about the Christian God. Like the Bible says, God is everything. Is this true?
Yeah, the Bible says a lot of things about God.
So if God is everything, that means God is gay.
Yeah. And
And also,
he's also a man, he's also a woman, he's also a little baby, he's also a grown adult, like he's everything. What's your point?
okay, another thing, like the Virgin Mary, she was like between 12 years old and 15 years old. So can a 15-year-old girl consent to get pregnant?
Do you realize that I'm not a Christian?
Yeah, I know. And just, proving this shitty book is like nonsense, this fantasy book that they believe. God is well, Jesus was pro-slavery, pro-murdering little kids, raping women. And
Fully agree with everything you're saying. Just don't really want to, don't, like, I didn't realize you were just going to come up and like do my whole thing for me. All right. Equality, you're more than welcome. Whoa. Equality, you are more than welcome to come up here whenever you want to. And Dean, happy to see you here. You haven't been in you haven't been in the comments of my lives in a long time. So welcome back. Equality, shut up. If you just want to come and hang out, you know I love talking to you though. Jaguar, you came up and then your mic was making a lot of noise, so I muted you. But if you're here and you want to talk, you can just come off of mute. But if not, I'll just move on to the next person.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. How old are you?
32.
And do you believe in the Christian God?
I do.
Sweet. Why is he so mean though?
What makes them mean?
Have you ever read the Bible?
I read some of the Bible, yes.
Some of it. Well, if you were to read the whole thing in its entirety, then you too would see the mean stuff that God does. Just to list off a few little things, Jesus actually says, well, I don't know, you might not think Jesus is God, but a lot of Christians do. Jesus literally says that he gives people disabilities just so he can heal them later. God turns a woman into a block of salt, effectively executing her, ending her life for the crime of turning around. God puts a husband and a wife to death because of the crime of they both told one fucking lie each, one single lie, and that was enough. They got struck down dead. Not to mention the genocide, the slavery, and like all that other crazy woman hating stuff. But yeah.
Okay, where did Jesus say that he gives people disabilities?
Hold on. Let me go get my notes.
And
I have it all
also,
written down.
are you
It's right
saying
over here. I
that?
had to move my setup, so now my notes are far away. 1 second. Yeah, it's so crazy. I don't have it's John 9, but I don't know the exact verse. Joel reads Bible. I have to look for it. Literally Jesus is like, am I not the one who makes the blind and the deaf? Yeah, I have notes. Fuck with me, bitch. They're not even my notes. John 9. Jesus sucks. I'm not seeing it immediately. It's John 9 what?
Can I ask you, does the Bible have a narrative?
What do you mean by that?
Is there a narrative to the Bible?
Like a story to it? Or like what do you mean by like is there like
Well, God
something that
claims to be
is
above
there
all
like
things.
something like a message they're trying to convey? What?
My point is, God claims to be the beginning and the end. So
Yeah,
that
it's
would mean,
John 9, 1 through 3. You were right. Joel. John 9, 1 through 3. No, wait, actually that is not what I was going for. I don't know, it might not have been correct. Who gives human beings their mouth? Who makes them deaf or mute? Who gives them the sight and makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? That's Exodus 4:11, not John 9. Sorry, Joel. So yeah, it's right here the Lord saying, I make people deaf and mute. He's giving people disabilities.
okay, well, he still exists above time since he's
Okay,
the
but
creator of
I
all
don't,
things.
what does that have to do with the fact that
The
he
point is,
intentionally
you're
gives
you're
people
trying to attribute
disabilities?
you're trying to attribute moral standard on him when he's above moral standard.
So
He's a
God is
creator.
amoral. God
He's
is neither
above.
good nor bad.
Well, he's good.
Well,
Whatever
no,
he decides.
if he's above morals, then he couldn't be good, could he?
No, he's the lawgiver. Is what I'm saying.
So your point is God is good and good is God and everything God does is good because God does it?
What I'm saying is you cannot attribute the same moral standard on a being that doesn't claim to be finite. Is what I'm saying.
Why not? Aren't your morals
Because he's
objective?
a different being.
Aren't the God morals objective though?
Oh, I mean, it's debatable.
You don't think morals are objective? You think morals are subjective?
No, it just depends on what we're talking about.
Do
What I'm
you think
saying,
morals are objective or subjective?
depending on how deep it can
Do
get.
you think God's morals are objective or subjective? I'm not asking depending, I'm asking
Objective.
what you think. Okay,
Okay.
so if morals are objective, that would make them the same. God's morality is the exact same as human morality.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm saying if he's the creator of.
If you think that God has a completely different set of moral laws to follow than humans do, then calling God good is like a useless word because his version of good is completely different from human version of good, and also that would make it subjective. I muted you. You're going to have to come off mute. So like if God's morality is completely different from human morality, calling him good might as well be like calling him short and round. Like it doesn't fucking matter. It's a meaningless word.
My point is he is a higher being than us. So
Okay,
if he's the creator of,
then you have no way to say that anything he
what?
does is good or bad. It's completely
Weren't you
immoral.
just mad at the other guy for interrupting?
Then you can't say that any of God's actions are good or bad. He is completely amoral. He doesn't have any morality if he's above it. Oh. 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 That was anticlimactic. Hello, Real.
Yo, what's going on?
Oh, not much. Just trying to debate some Christians. Are you
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
those?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
And you're over the age of 18?
Yep.
That's fantastic. I think God's a really big meanie. What about you?
I don't think she is, and I'm honestly tired of these lies. America did not shatter the Elden Ring. All right. I don't know where you guys heard that from. She didn't do that. All right. That's
I
literally
never said anything about that. Is that from a video game?
no. No, that's God. Um,
Elden Ring is a video game.
no. That's not a video game. The Elden Ring is like the Elden Ring, you know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
I've never spoken about Elden Ring because
You know how the whole story
I don't
goes?
talk about
America shatters the Elden Ring.
video games
They
on
killed
my
Godfrey.
live.
Or sorry, Godwin. They killed Godwin.
I don't know. I think you want to go to like a video game live.
No.
Yeah. I've never played Elden Ring. I can't really speak to you on that because I'm not familiar with that game. Yes, Elden Ring is a video game. I know that it is. I play video games, just not that one. Zen,
Hey, Arwen.
hi. How old are you for TikTok?
I'm 28.
And are you a Christian?
I used to be.
Oh, bitch, what are you now? Atheist?
Yeah, essentially. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think that God is essentially the demiurge keeping us under hypnotic control.
Am I just gonna get trolled this morning? Is that just what's gonna happen? I'm not gonna be able to have any actual conversations today, which is fine. It's fine. If the Christians just want to come up here and make themselves look stupid as fuck, that kind of like does my whole work for me. I don't know why actually I do know why the live is grainy. It's because I'm kind of far away from my Wi-Fi and there's nothing I can do to get closer to it right now. And well, I can hear an echo.
I'm so sorry,
And
Arwen. Good
y'all are just
morning.
gonna have to deal with it. Sorry. At least you're still here. Dakota,
Good morning.
I can like hear an echo a little bit through your. Oh, I think it stopped. Sweet. I should get a Wi-Fi extender. Okay, but I'm going live on my phone. Guys, let's just talk about it in the group chat. Let's just talk about it later in the group chat. Oh, he left. My live isn't usually this low quality, like video. Speaking of video, my live is always high quality. Speaking of my content. But I understand that the video quality is shit. So, sorry about it. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of black screen people wanting to come up and talk. Buy a hotspot? I have a hotspot on my phone. Let me see if it's worth logging in or like hotspotting myself from my cell phone. Hotspot. All right, I'm gonna have to pause the live for 1 second. Hopefully it makes it better. Difference. Okay, back to it. This has been a very unproductive live, if I'm just gonna be honest. If I'm just gonna be totally frank. Actually, while we wait, some better. I'm trying. My hotspot is literally right here. It's as close as it can be. Come on, you guys. Somebody who I'm inviting. Oh no. This happens a
Are
lot.
you gonna kick me again?
No, you can stay this time.
Okay.
How old are you for TikTok?
45.
And equality. You blocked the most crazy crash out that I've ever had to deal with. How dare you? That wasn't me talking to you, that was me talking to someone listening. You're old enough and you're a Christian, you said?
Yes.
Sweet. I think that your God is like a really big meanie.
Well, I mean, we don't really get to choose that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? I
get to
understand we
choose it.
think.
I'm choosing it right now. I
Well,
think
yeah,
your
I mean,
God's
and
a
you.
really big meanie.
No. You have that choice. That's what free will is all about. But I mean, there are repercussions. We don't realize the repercussions, unfortunately, until we're unalive.
But you realize them right now. Are you unalived?
No, I mean, I just one of those special people, I guess. I don't know.
You're just special. You've got the spiritual eyes, don't you?
I would say so. Discernment, yes.
All right. So explain to me why you think that, like, I don't know, putting someone to death for the crime of telling one single lie is a good thing.
Because he sees it as such. If you
Good.
create something,
What God does is good because God does it.
yes, because he created everything. We wouldn't even have the ability to think the way that you're thinking if it wasn't for God. Like
But I
that's
do have the ability. I'm doing it right now. In
yes.
spite of God.
Well, it wouldn't be free will if you didn't have that ability to think that way.
Okay, so you're essentially saying God is the arbiter of everything and whatever
Yes.
he says goes.
Yes. I mean, but he gave you the chance to not do what he says goes.
Sweet, but like you're just saying that he's like a fascist dictator then, essentially?
No, if that was the case,
what
you would
makes
have to live your
what
whole
makes
life.
God different from a fascist dictator?
He doesn't make you abide by his commandments. He doesn't force you to do that.
But you just said whatever he says goes in terms of like morality.
Well, morality is subjective. Law is not.
Okay, so again, you think that putting someone to death for the crime of telling a lie is good because God says so?
Because the creator says so, yes.
Yeah, because God says so.
Yes, he
So
created.
what if God came to you right now and you knew for a fact that it was God and it wasn't some kind of hallucination and he wanted you to go do a genocide? Would you think it's good to do that?
If God told me to do that and I knew that it was, yes, I would do that.
But would you think it was good? I mean, it's fucked up that you would do that. But would you
If
think
God told me to.
would you say what you're doing is good?
If the creator told me to, yes, that would mean it was good and that everybody else was wrong.
If the creator came to you and told you to go diddle children, would you do it?
He would not do that because that would go against
But
his
what
law.
if he did, hypothetically saying he does?
It's already in the law.
Hypothetically speaking, God tells you to diddle children. Will you do it? Yes or no?
No, because God told us that harming a child, you might as well tie a millstone to your neck and jump in the sea. Like there is no coming back.
Where does it say that? Jesus also gets mad at people for not stoning their disobedient children. So clearly God is cool with like child abuse.
The only story I remember, Jesus was telling people not to stone a woman because they were not free of sin.
Do you remember the story where Jesus is calling the Pharisees hypocrites and he's flipping tables?
Yes.
In that story, he gets mad at them for
Yes.
not stoning their disobedient children.
I don't know if, I mean, I'd have to look at, the specifics of that passage, but
I'll just pull it up right now
that
and
was
read it
not,
to you.
that
I'll
wasn't
just
the
pull it up
reason
right
that
now
he,
and read it to you.
okay, that's fine.
Because
But
you're saying that God isn't cool with child
no, they
abuse.
were desecrating the
There's
temple. They were
absolutely
using it.
no
They were having filthy animals, selling
there's no
filthy
way
animals.
that you could justify that. Here, how about
God
I'm
is the
looking for a verse,
justification.
you look for a verse. While I'm looking for a verse, you look for a verse that says God doesn't want you to abuse children. And go. All right. You don't have a Bible? You don't memorize it?
Matthew 18:6. Matthew 18:6.
Dang, my Wi-Fi is slow. If anyone causes the little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it would be better to have a large millstone hung around their neck and drown in the depths of the sea. Where in there does it say that you're not allowed to abuse children?
That's what little ones means. You're
Where
not
does it
allowed
say
to.
that? Where does it? It says if anyone causes the little ones to stumble, but where does it say
Yeah,
that you can't abuse them?
that's what that means. You don't get in the way of
You
children
think
for
you think
anything.
causing you
If
think
you cause
you
them
think
against growing,
causing causing the little ones to stumble means leading them into sin. Where does it say that you can't abuse them? It says there in Matthew 18 that you can't lead them to sin. That's what causing them to stumble is in reference to.
them would be leading them to
Where does
sin.
it say that you can't abuse them?
Abusing them would
Abusing
be
them
leading them.
isn't leading them into sin.
Most
No.
definitely is.
You think that wait. You think that in real life, like today, when an adult abuses a child, that child is being led into sin?
Yes. It happens every day in our schools, especially with the LGBTQ.
Oh my God. So you think that when a grapist is graping a child, that child is being led into sin and they're not a victim? You
Sexual
don't see them as a
immorality,
victim,
yes.
you see them as
No, they
going into
are, yes,
sin.
of course they're a victim, but they are sinning with them. That is sin.
How could the victim be? This is victim blaming. How
See,
could the
no,
victim be
you're trying
sinning?
to
They're
sway
the
my words
victim.
because you don't have an argument.
No, 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 no. No, I'm not trying to sway your
You
words. This
don't
is
have an
what the
argument.
fuck you
You're a
said.
very foolish
This
little
is
girl
what you said.
that thinks she has an
Oh my
idea of the
God.
world.
I've never
That's why you're
heard
muting me.
I've never heard a more disgusting take. You think that when children are getting diddled, that
Ridiculous.
they're the ones doing
Oh, you're
sexual
putting that in
immorality?
putting
You
words in my
you
mouth,
said that.
muting me
You said that.
so that I
You
can't
said when an adult is
elaborate.
raping a child, they're leading the child into
Not
sexual
what
immorality.
you gonna let me talk?
This is you're victim blaming.
Are you gonna
You're
let me talk?
blaming the victims.
Gonna let me
Fuck
talk?
no.
Okay, all
Fuck
right.
no. You're blaming the victims for what the
Yes, have fun and
perpetrator is doing.
LGBT does it
That's so
LGBT
disgusting.
every
If
day.
hey, Mike,
LGBT does it every day.
if oh my God,
Every single day.
this is insane.
Groom children.
So you don't think that children
LGBT is
who are
more
victims of
this
sexual abuse are actual
any other
victims?
party of people.
Oh, I'm like actually shook. I'm actually shook. He's saying that children who are victims of sexual abuse are being led into sexual immorality and that they are just as morally culpable as the perpetrator. I'm like actually not okay right now. That really Like, I'm like, my hands are a little bit shaky right now. My hands are sweaty. That was really upsetting. I'm not gonna lie. I think I need a moment. Okay, moment over. Holy fuck. That disgusts me. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna try to not think about that at all and just go on to the next person. Hello, Jaden.
Hi,
Hi. How old are you for TikTok?
20. My mic is really bad, so that does not
And you're a
help.
Christian?
Um,
No, you
yes.
sound fucking 20 years old, girl. You sound young as fuck. That is exactly what he said. He said that when the perpetrator is raping the child, that the perpetrator is leading the child into sexual immorality and they are just as morally culpable. They are sinning just as much as the perpetrator. That's what he said.
Hello,
That's disgusting. Hello, how old are you?
I'm 38. Okay,
And are you a Christian?
yeah, I'm a Catholic.
Sorry.
Practicing.
Um,
Practicing Catholic, yes, with the sister that's a nun somewhere in Vietnam. So super Catholic, grew up Catholic since I was a kid, yeah.
oh,
Not yikes, it's a great
yeah,
blessing.
I grew up Catholic. I grew up Catholic as well. No, as someone who's been there, done that, I was Catholic.
Uh-huh.
I feel
Are you
I'm
talking
sorry.
because the
And
men
I'm
are
sorry for
weird
the
and
people in
weird?
Vietnam. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the people in Vietnam that she's colonizing.
When she's not colonizing them because they want to
That's
look
what
for
they
it.
do. That's
At
what they
this
do.
point, they're not
They
using
go do their
force.
they do their religious colonialization. Oh yeah, at this point they're not using force, but about
Yeah,
the
they're not
other
using
points
force. Yeah.
in history, yeah,
Yes,
at
yes.
this current point they're not using
At
force.
this
They don't
current
have
point.
to anymore because they already used the force.
Yeah, I know. I saw that documentary about the Canadian reservation for the children and how
I
much
haven't seen
they
any.
were abused
I'm
by the
not speaking
Catholic
about a
priests.
documentary.
No, well, no,
I'm not speaking about any
they were
documentary.
really
I'm
abused
just
by the
speaking from
Catholic priests.
knowledge.
No, I know. I know the men abuse women and children all the time, and it doesn't matter if they dress like a priest or if they dress like a
The Catholic
coach
women
or they
abuse
dress like your
people
parent.
too. Yeah, the Catholic women abuse people too. Your Catholic nun sister is currently abusing the people in Vietnam. They didn't want her there, but they have to take her because they need help, because they're an underdeveloped country. And so they have no choice but to accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior in order to get the help that your sister is offering to them. You know, and I know, your sister would not be helping these Vietnamese people unless they first give themselves to God. That's how it works. And it's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. We don't need to talk about that though. That's not even what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about your God's morality.
Yeah, so I just want to say that you really need to separate God from people because right now you're
I
speaking
have
as
done
not God,
that.
right? No, just listen to me.
Oh my God,
Right
your
now,
mic is so bad. Your mic is so bad. I had to kick you because it sounds like you're like talking through like a salt shaker or something. I don't know. It's probably just a really bad phone, but like it's kind of giving me a headache. It's just depressing. Like I know these people. Let me just do my little personal anecdote while we wait. I know these people who they can't have their own child naturally. So they want to go, mind you, they're a couple of white people, white Mormons. They can't have their own child naturally. So they want to go to some country in Africa and adopt an African child. And they were there in Africa a couple of months ago. Like, I know these people personally. I've seen the pictures on social media. They were at an orphanage, and the entire orphanage is all Christian based. Like, they have quotes everywhere. Like, you cannot be in that orphanage and not believe in this God. Like, they are abusing these children. They're indoctrinating these children who want nothing more than a loving family. And it is disgusting. Hello, my thick.
Mythic. Everybody calls me my thick.
Mythic. I like calling
How's
you
it
my
going?
thick. It looks like you're saying my thick fish.
Yeah, I'm
That's
a
what it
thick
looks like you're
fishy.
saying, my thick fish.
Well, just so you know, I'm 28 for
Yeah,
TikTok
no.
purposes. I used to
And
be
a
Christian
Christian.
and I swayed away from it. And the only reason I kind of wanted to jump up here is to literally for 2 minutes or less to kind of elaborate something. Maybe it'll make people think a little more. I think it's say that the devil is
Oh,
louder, or in 1 Peter 5:8, it says the devil is loud like a roaring lion. And in my experience and what I've read and been taught in the Christian language, or in the Christian Bible, I see that God is being the one who's really loud right now. Everybody who I have run into that is a Christian or some denomination of that side is loud. They are very critiquative. They are very, they like to just judge everybody. And I feel like God is being a lot louder through these people now. And in that theory, it makes me feel like Satan is actually the good one and God is the one who is being manipulative and pushing people to a different stance. Because if you notice, people who are non-Christian are more likely to be nice and open to you rather than Christians. But that's all I wanted to do, throw that out there.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with you. Well, heavily disagree with you because I don't think that God or Satan are real. One second, though. I'm going to let this guy load in. I need to grab my chapstick. It's over there. All right, love.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How old are you, though?
I'm 18. So,
And you believe in God?
right. So why do you think that God is, why do you think he's like mean or
I read the Bible. Have you?
yeah. Yeah, I'm a Christian. I've read the Bible. So,
The whole thing?
yeah.
Old Testament?
Old and New Testament.
So you should kind of know what I'm talking about, right?
I mean,
What do
what's your
you just what do you think I mean when I say God's a meanie and I'm telling you I'm getting that idea from the Bible? Are there any stories in the Bible that you read, because you definitely read the whole thing? Are there any stories in there that you think I could be referring to?
No? I mean, do you think that, like not even in the Bible, but do you think that God is evil because he's not stopping what's going
No,
on right now?
I'm entirely talking about what's in the Bible. And you say you've read the whole thing. So again, I
Yeah.
ask, there's not one single thing that God does in the Bible that you would think that I'm talking about right now. You can't think of one thing that I might think is bad.
No, there's not a single thing that is bad in the Bible. Not one thing. I mean, all everything that God does.
So tell me why you
is,
think it's a good thing to burn women alive.
What are you talking about?
You should know what I'm talking about.
about?
You should know what I'm talking about. You read the whole thing, didn't you? You got to that part where God commands people to burn women alive because you read the whole thing.
Where is that in the Bible? Where?
It's either in Leviticus or Deuteronomy. Let me just pull it up.
Okay.
I thought you've read the entire thing, though. You should know what I'm talking about.
I haven't touched in a little while, so I'm in the Philippines right now. So,
Let's see. Which one does he say that we should be burning women alive? Present a solution. Burned. If a priest daughter, so Leviticus 21:9. Essentially says if a priest daughter prostitutes herself, she needs to be burned to death. Why do you think that's a good thing?
That is not in the Bible.
Yes, it is.
Where
It's
does
in
it say where?
Leviticus
No, it does not.
21:9. Leviticus 21:9. I'll even read it to you. If a priest's daughter defiles herself by becoming a prostitute, she disgraces her father and she must be burned in the fire. Leviticus 21:9. So now that we know that you've definitely never read the Bible, I mean, I already knew that he hadn't read the Bible, which is why I was giving y'all my very sly winks. Oh yeah, and in the version that he ran away. No. In the version that I read, which is the NRSVUE, it says, when the daughter of a priest profanes herself through prostitution, she profanes her father and shall be burned to death. Definitely not like a great thing, but I love that they just come up here and deny what the fuck the Bible says.
I was like 18 years old. He did not read the whole fucking thing. That thing took me a few weeks to read that thing. I'm not even a Christian. No, but I'm 41 for your TikTok purpose. What I would say to you is, which one? I'm a druid. I've never been a Christian at all. I've had to read the Bible when I was in college in that religious study thing.
Glad that you've never been a Christian, but I am here to talk to Christians. Maybe this will inspire him to read his book. That 18-year-old kid who just ran away. Maybe this is the inspiration that he needed to go like see what the hell is in there, you know? Aries.
Hello?
How old are you? Just for TikTok purposes.
Yeah, no worries. I just turned 35.
Sweet. And I think the Bible God is really mean. What's your stance on that?
The Bible what?
The Bible God, I think he's super mean.
You know,
What do you think?
I've been reading the Old Testament lately. Just this year, I started, and I've seen some crazy stuff. I agree with you, and I don't, but like it's intense. I mean,
He does mean stuff in the New Testament too. We could talk about that.
actually, I would, but I don't know the New Testament, so I can't really say, or else I don't want to judge you, for what you know. Because again, I grew up as a Catholic, and then when I was a teenage, and then I got baptized as Christianity. So I'm a Christian now. I grew up going to church every Sunday, this and that. There's a good portion of my life that I stopped going to church for certain reasons. And just recently now, I'm not going to church, but I am reading my Bible and trying to pray more.
Sweet. So you don't want to talk about mean stuff he does in the New Testament, but do you think he does mean stuff in the Old Testament?
I mean, back in the day, I wouldn't say. It's just that I believe he did some savage stuff, you know.
Yeah, some pretty fucked up stuff, right?
Sending people to war, and choosing sizes. I mean, I know what he probably had a plan, or he had his reasons for doing what he did, but no one will really know in this lifetime for his reasons or for why he did it. So I can't
It
really.
feels like you have like a whole lot of fucking nothing to talk about. I'll let somebody else up. This person is mouthing off in the chat. Let's see what they have to say. Hello, Sierra.
Hello, I'm 21
Hey,
years
Shoddy.
old.
That's
I'm
really good, Shoddy.
Was it shoddy? No, any
Yeah.
Christians in the
Little
live,
lady.
like, you literally get paid to rage bait people, and I don't think you genuinely care about the topic. You're just doing whatever you
I
can to
do
get
genuinely.
views.
I do genuinely care about the
I
topic.
was
Do you want to talk
traumatized
about it?
by people who were anti.
I don't fucking care. Do you want to talk about the topic? You're saying that I'm scared of you, but you don't want to talk about the topic. It seems like you're the one who's scared. I muted you because you're running and scared.
So the thing is that it doesn't matter what I say because you're gonna come on and be like, "Oh, you sound so bad quality," or "You sound stupid." Like no matter what I say, you're gonna hurt me. You claim
I can hear you just fine, little lady.
thank
I
God
just need you.
You're a bully.
Little lady, are you crashing the fuck out right now?
I'm telling you the truth.
You were mouthing off in the comments.
Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the heart.
You were mouthing off in the comments about how scared I am of talking to you, but you
and that's
have
why you're
nothing
muting me because
to
you're
say.
have a real conversation. You're not going to shit on
say.
people for actually trying to talk to you about the Bible.
All right,
and I'm
let's have a
telling
real
you,
conversation then. Let's have a real conversation then. I'm not scared of you. Let's talk about it. I think the Bible God is an asshole. What do you think?
I think God has every right to be an asshole to us because he put us on this earth and he has every right to take us out. Why would he let us in his kingdom if we needed proof to believe that the kingdom was real? Why would he let us into his house?
I didn't ask about whether the kingdom was real. I'm talking about him being an asshole. And you agree, right? That he's an asshole?
Yeah, because we are tempted by sin and the way that he wants us
so
to
then what
live
is the
is
debate
not
about? What do you want to debate about? You agree with my position.
Your position is that God's not real, heaven's not real, hell's not real.
Can
You
you
said
read
God.
the prompt?
You said you
Read the
believe that
prompt
God
for me.
and
This is
the devil's not real.
Read the prompt for the class. This is my position. Read it out loud.
So you think he's real? Then why are you?
No, read the prompt out loud, little lady.
God is real, but he's mean. Yeah, so
That's not what the prompt says. Read. Let's show all of these almost 200 people in this live that you know how to read. What does this prompt say, Sierra?
Why is God such a meanie? Why is God such a meanie?
Okay. So my current position has fuck all to do with whether he's real or not. My position is that I think he's an asshole, and you agree that he's an asshole. So what did you come up here to debate with me, little
Where's your
lady?
degree? Yeah, that's what I thought.
What did you come up here? What did you come up here to debate about? You agree.
Ah! I'm doing what you do. I'm doing what you do. And your quality.
What did you
shit.
come up here to
How's your
debate
camera?
about?
I just wanted to show all the Christians in the chat, don't even bother talking to her, just
Mind you, this little girl was mouthing off in the comments saying that I'm scared to debate with her. She doesn't even have anything to debate. She agrees with my position. She thinks that God is an asshole. I think God is an asshole. So I don't know what your intent was in trying to come up here for what? Like, I don't get that. Like, that was a waste of fucking time. I don't know what the point was there. All right, I'm the coach and I put you in, Santa. Do you know what my position is, or do I have to repeat it for you, Santa?
What's your story? You think the Christian God is a mean God. Why?
Because I read the Bible. Have you ever read the Bible?
Parts of it.
So no, you haven't read the whole thing.
I mean, what's your
What parts
question?
have you read? What parts of it have you read?
Some of the Old Testament, some of the New Testament.
Like, if you could put a percentage of how much of it you've read, what would you say that percentage is?
Like 50.
All right. Well, then you would, just by virtue of having read 50% of the book, you would know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, but wait, my question is, why do you think just a Bible God is the mean one? Like you say you're an atheist, right? What is your take on other
Yeah.
gods?
Not real.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. I don't really give that much of a shit about the other gods. The reason that I since you seem to be asking somewhat genuinely, I'll tell you. The reason that my lives are all about the Bible God and all of my posts on TikTok are about the Bible God is because I was indoctrinated to believe that this thing was true. And then I later had to come to my own realization that I was lied to throughout my entire childhood by the people who were supposed to love me and care for me about this God. They lied to me and told me that he was real. And not only that, so I feel really slighted about being indoctrinated and lied to for my entire childhood. But I also don't like the way that the Christians are moving about the world right now. They're doing really fucking harmful things. So yeah, that's why I have a very specific bone to pick with Christianity and none of the other religions.
okay, that makes sense. Well, I heard you talk about some people going to Africa and an orphanage that is just Christian based. I don't know where you're talking about, but I've been to Kenya, and what happens is it's like a religion. They decide could be Muslim, could be Christian. They're like, oh, there's this kids who have nowhere to go, so they end up building institutions based on that, and it's not forcing the kids to.
Yeah, and indoctrinating the little kids into their cult. When all the kids really want is just a loving family, what they end up getting is indoctrination into a cult.
Okay.
It's predatory as fuck.
I mean, I feel like for them, it's more just passing along what they learned.
No. Why?
Okay.
If they just want to help those kids, then they wouldn't be so intent on indoctrinating them. Like the whole thing, the orphanage kids are like, from specifically the people that I know who I was talking about, them going to some country in Africa trying to adopt a child. The orphanage that they went to, there's Bible quotes painted on murals all over the building. The kids are wearing religious garb, religious paraphernalia. They don't have much of a choice in this matter. If these unloved kids with no parents want to be in this orphanage, they have to play the part, and that they're getting indoctrinated. They didn't ask to get indoctrinated. The only thing they want is a loving family, and they don't even get that. They're still sitting in the orphanage. All they have now is this fucking fake god and cult that they now belong to. And that's the reason that these Christians go into these less I don't know, like, I don't want to say like third world, but they go into these places that are not nearly as developed, and they take advantage of these children because they know that they are desperate and they need the help. It's predatory.
Okay, well, back to the Bible. I heard you talk about Leviticus 21:9, talking about burning the women. In that particular verse, it was talking about a priest's daughter who is married and ends up, what is it called? Adultery, with somebody else.
No, it doesn't say anything about adultery.
It says, if a priest's daughter defiles herself by becoming a prostitute, she disgraces her father, and she must be burnt in the fire.
Yeah. So tell me why you think it's good to burn priest daughters who are prostitutes in fire. Why should they be burned to death? Why is that a good thing?
Oh, they're not getting burnt to death. Their body is burnt after death symbolically to bring shame to the father.
Oh, bitch, it's not going to let me do it. Right here. It says to death.
I don't know what version you're reading.
I'm reading from the NRSVUE.
Well, I'm reading from the NIV version, and it says she must be burnt in the fire.
Okay, well, what happens when people are burnt in fires, dude?
I said post-death. Did you not hear?
It doesn't say post-death.
Well,
nowhere in the NIV. I can pull up the NIV. Nowhere in the NIV version does it say post-death. You're making that up.
I'm not. I feel like you're pulling it out of context.
So where is the context that says that this is going to happen after they die?
If you look into it, in old Jewish culture,
No, where is the context that says that they need to be burned after they die? Where does it say that?
Historical context.
Where in the so there is no biblical context that agrees with what you're saying.
I mean, of course they would know this because it's happening in their time. They have
So
the context.
there is no biblical context that agrees with what you're saying, but yet I can look at my screen and it says, when a daughter of a priest profanes herself through prostitution, she profanes her father and shall be burned to death.
Okay. I don't know what to say to you.
Yeah, the only thing you came up here to do was just make shit up. I don't know why you did that.
I didn't. Okay.
You are actively making shit up. You said that she needs to be burned post-death. Nowhere in the verse does it say that. You're making that up. You couldn't even ground that using historical context. You're just making that part up too. The whole thing is just made the fuck up.
It's not.
I don't know why you came up here either. It is. You made that up. Or maybe you didn't make it up. Maybe you're just repeating it from somebody else who made it up. But
no,
it's not in the book. It's not in the book. What you are arguing for is not written anywhere in the story. And there's also zero historical context to back up your claims. You're making it up. The silence is deafening, Santa. I'm disappointed in you. I feel like I'm being so serious right now. Like, let me be fun. Let me have a good time. These Christians are just not, they're unwell. They're mentally unwell.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hello. I saw you begging to be let in, so
I'm not begging.
I like to help out my fans.
I would agree with you. God's a real meanie, but you know what? He's got to deal with a lot of things in the universe, all the hate and destruction. So he's mean to teach you. And if you're meanie, he'll meanie back.
All right, so what lesson did the Amalekite babies learn when they got slaughtered? What was the lesson there?
I don't really get into that much, but I don't get into the Bible much. You know what I'm saying? Because
so you just make claims and you can't back it up.
What? No. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. I'm kind of agreeing with you.
Well,
how
you said
God
that you said that God is being a meanie to teach people lessons.
Yeah.
Wow,
I mean,
a whale.
You're talking about
You
Old
said
Testament.
that God's being a meanie to teach people. I can talk about the New Testament too, but let me just get my thought out. You're saying that God's a meanie to teach people lessons, and then when I ask you about the lessons, you don't fucking know. So why are you saying that he's teaching people lessons when you don't know that? I muted you. You have to come off mute. Like more, like all these Christians have been doing today is just like making claims that they can't possibly back up. It's boring. It's boring as hell. Sorry, I don't think you were able to figure out how to turn the mute button back on. But I want to smile more. I'm a happy-go-lucky gal. But these Christians are not making me want to smile, honestly. They're boring and annoying. But it's okay. It's okay. This is why I like having friendlies up here, like at least one friendly up, because they're like a palate cleanser, a quality comeback if you're here. I need you in my life. Whatever your name is, Squimminch.
Grimsh. Yeah, hi, what's up? I can try and be a palate cleanser. I won't be contentious or say anything mean, I promise.
Oh, please.
Is your name Arwen or Arwen?
Please, palate cleanser. Arwen.
That's a lovely name. I've never seen it. I like truly. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything. It's a cool name. But in
It's
regard
not
to the
even my real
Amalekites,
name. It's not my real name. It's from a book.
oh, well, it's lovely nonetheless.
I like the name too. That's
In
why I
regards to the
chose. That's
Amalekites, sorry, I
chose
think
it
I'm
as my
lagging.
pseudonym.
I see. Me too.
Here, drop that. I just tried to
What a shame.
disconnect your
Can you
ass.
hear me?
Not really, because the lag is so bad. One of my because I tried to disconnect him 3 times and it's not letting me. Just request back up because the lag was really fucking bad.
Unos meses, mientras se adaptaba a su nuevo puesto. Encontré el mensaje de Leticia de la primavera pasada sobre la colegiatura del colegio.
Hi.
Explicándome cómo era una inversión en el futuro de los
Hi.
niños.
So,
Y preguntándome si acaso no quería yo invertir en el futuro de
I'm
mis
still
propios nietos.
new
Y
in a
encontré mis
way.
propias respuestas, cada una siendo una variante
Oh,
de claro que sí, hecho,
it was
transferencia
pretty
enviada,
laggy.
lo que necesite. Mis dedos se movieron.
Sorry, I'm back on my Wi-Fi and I'm gonna see if that makes a difference for me.
Hasta la sección de pagos
Can you
recurrentes.
turn off the thing in the background though?
La observé con detenimiento, tal vez
Thing
por
in the
primera vez
background.
desde que puse todo en piloto automático.
Yeah, you're listening to like Spanish. Just gonna drop you. Okay, I'm back on my home Wi-Fi. See if that makes a difference. Yeah, I don't speak Spanish, so I don't really know exactly what they were saying. My picture is bad because I'm far away from my router, bitches. I can't get closer to the router right now. Joel, make me feel better about having shitty Wi-Fi.
Now I don't see you at all.
I don't see you either. I know you're here. Oh, I see you now. Can you see me now?
Not yet. But
I see you.
I know you've had a really hard morning, but I actually have some more bad news.
Oh, thank you.
I was doing some math and I found out that in your lifetime, like in an average person's lifetime, not saying you're average, but you'll use like 40,000 pieces of paper for like bills and legal documents and stuff like that, which amounts to around 5 trees worth of paper. And did you know that there's like 420 trees per human being right now on the planet?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the trees are taking over. So we need to kill more trees because we're only
What?
using 5 each. Yeah, we
Joel.
gotta like I don't know if we need to chop them
No.
down or like burn them.
Absolutely not. You sound la 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 la. I'm not listening. I'm not
The
listening.
trees are taking over, Arwen. The trees are gonna win,
The
and we
trees
can't have
should
that.
be taking over. The
This
trees
is
should be taking over. They deserve it.
it's a huge problem. The environment is coming for us.
La 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 la.
Okay, here's the
What
good
next?
news.
You're gonna say we need to deforest the Amazon even more.
Yes. Use more paper. Here's the good news. I think Jordan Peterson's dead. Now, they say he's really sick. He's not making any public appearances. I think he's like this is like a thing where he's like already dead, but they're like trying to pretend like he's still alive. Do you know who Jordan Peterson is?
Define Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. But like, I don't think anyone's seen him, so I'm pretty sure he's dead. Anyway, so that's the good news. What else is going on?
Oh, just like talking to Christians.
Mhm.
They are the way that they are. I wish they weren't the way that they are, though. I wish they were different. What do you think? Oh,
But
muted.
more importantly, did you hear that I agree with you? Also, more importantly, there are people whose whole job, like, you know, when people get like things of bricks, bundles of bricks and stuff, then they return the thing that it comes on. And these people could just burn that because, you know, get rid of more trees, but instead they like clean them and they make them like new so they can put more bricks on them. I mean, that's a whole job. Being a palate cleanser, that's a whole job that people have. And it's useless because we need to kill more trees.
I was with you for a second there, and then you keep talking about. Yeah, have you ever seen the Lorax? The movie?
Did you get my joke though?
You are the Onceler.
I don't know that movie because I'm an
You
adult.
don't know about the children's classic, The Lorax?
I know the book, you know,
Let
but I
it
don't know
die,
the
let it
story.
die, let it shrivel up and die. That's you.
Was that about the woods?
Talking about the
Forest?
trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Well,
gotta
cut
watch
down
that
all them
movie now.
trees until there's nothing left. You're the antagonist from that. The book works too. The book has the same characters in it. The movie I think is better though because it has a lot of good actors in it.
Does the book have the songs or
Probably no.
no?
But the book
Okay.
is fine. I like the book.
Mhm.
I just like the movie better because you know the songs. Taylor Swift is in it. Zac Efron is in it, and Ed
What?
Helms, one of the guys from The Office, is
I
the
know
bad
Ed.
guy.
I know
You're
Ed.
the bad guy. You're the Office guy.
No, I don't want to be
Yeah.
the Ed Helms. I want to be.
He has a cool outfit though. He gets really rich in the
Well, hold on.
movie.
Is it it's a cartoon, isn't it?
It's a cartoon,
Okay. But
but
Ed
it's okay.
Helms is still wearing a
They're
cool
still.
outfit.
His character is. He gets a cool outfit. It's like all green. He looks rich as fuck. The only reason he gets rich as fuck is by destroying the planet, but that's what you want. So you're him. And no, Joel, I didn't get your original joke before I started talking about the Lorax.
Yeah, so the joke was that the people that are recycling and basically reusing pallets, they're called pallet cleansers, and so it was a joke about being the pallet cleanser for you, and so I brought up the
You're recycling the wood pallets for me.
yeah, that was where the pun was. Do you want to bring up a Christian or like I do? I was just here
No,
to
I just wanted to talk to you, but I mean,
okay.
apparently you're just
No,
insisting that I
no.
bring a Christian up here. I'll
I
do
honestly
it.
I'm okay with it. It's weird though because I still can't see you. Let me swipe
You
out and
still
swipe back
can't
in.
see me? This is
Oh,
bullshit.
there you are. You're back. Okay. I had to swipe out.
When I was going, I can't hear you. I was going la 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 la.
I miss that great physical humor.
We got Itty Fitty in here though. Are you there?
What up?
Not much. I'm just talking to
I think
Joel Reed's Bible, who he admits that I'm his number one fan. So anybody else who's a fan of Joel Reed's Bible, you are the fan, but not number one. But he also won't let me be his bestie.
Oof.
So okay, yeah,
Taken.
that's lame. That's really lame, honestly.
Oh,
Itty
dang.
Fitty, how old are you, and are you a Christian? 2 questions.
I'm 25 and I'm worse than a Christian. I'm a Mormon.
I don't know. I honestly don't know that much about Mormonism, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. The things that I do know, I don't love.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I can't really argue against like the Book of Mormon or anything because I've never read it. All I know is
No,
that
I
you'll
believe in
think
the Bible too.
black people are cursed with their skin.
Oh, well, that's kind of, but not really.
They got cursed, and that's what makes not just black people, any people who have dark skin. The reason that their skin is dark is because they were cursed.
Well, no, that was first off a Protestant view. They're the ones who came up with the curse of Ham. And some of our church fathers adopted that later on. And we
It
would
doesn't matter.
baptize people
It's
of the
in the
Tahitian
book.
Islands and give them the priesthood.
It's in
But
the Book
I
of
mean, that's a
Mormon, though.
separate issue, I think.
How do I know what's in the Book of Mormon and you don't? You're a Mormon. What does the Book of Mormon say about dark skin? Let's find out. The Book of Mormon contains passages describing a skin of blackness placed as a mark or a curse upon a group because of their rebellion against God. Dark skin, yeah. Now, however, the official church teachings disavow that, but it doesn't matter. It's still in the book, isn't it?
I love how these infallible God messages change over time.
Right?
Really
How
handy.
is Joseph Smith wrong? Wasn't he like a God prophet?
God was like, this is what I want you to know for a while, then change it.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody in the comments was started talking about the magic underwear. I agree, the magic underwear is fucking crazy. You guys got an update on the magic underwear, though. It looks a little bit more sporty. I saw that.
We did. We can wear tank tops now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
But Joseph
great. I love
Smith
that for you.
baptized black people and gave them the priesthood. That was a little
I mean,
later on,
he
but
did
we
that
were
while
giving black
also
people the
thinking that
priesthood.
they
What
were
that's referring
cursed.
to, the black skin. Well, I mean, he did that. I don't know what to tell you. He baptized like
That's
4 black
fine.
people and
He
gave them
can
the
he
priesthood.
can
We
he
were helping
can
with
let
the
black people be
Underground
Mormons, but
Railroad.
he also thinks that they're cursed, which is fucked up.
No, okay. So what that verse is referring to, the black skin is referring to the soul. It's darkening.
But it didn't darken their soul. The curse made their skin dark. Are you trying to say that the curse darkened their soul and then that in turn darkened their skin? Because you can't get around the fact that they think that the dark skin is a curse. Also, when you leave the app, nobody can hear you. Yeah. As someone who is like really low melanin, I think having low melanin is the curse. Honestly, if I'm going to be truly honest with you, like just like existing in the world where the sun is as harmful as it is, I would have liked a tiny bit more melanin because me and the sun don't get along. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this isn't working out. Sorry, dude. Nobody can hear you when you aren't on the screen. Oh, now the friendlies all want to come up. It's too late. I already have a friend up here.
Yeah,
My
grow up.
I wish was my best friend, but not my best friend because he doesn't want to be my best friend, Joel.
Yeah, it's only because you constantly fucking guilt me over this best friend bullshit. Like, if you didn't do that, maybe we could, like, our friendship could grow. But instead, it's always like, be my best friend. It's like, can we just, like, let that happen organically, Arwen?
No.
It's happening now or never.
Yeah, it's happening and it's happening on my time the way that I want it done or nothing. Actually, there is no other option here. All right, I'm trying to let people up.
Mezzo, that's
How many
not the
people are
only
there?
reason. Now, Mezzo, see, this is how I get in trouble, Arwen. Mezzo, I said I already have a best friend. You just weren't here for that.
When I asked literal days to weeks ago, he was like, no, I already have a best friend. And then you were telling me that I already have a best friend, which is true. Equality is my bestie, my
There you go.
beloved.
Yeah.
But I'm allowed to have more than one.
Well, yeah, we can be dear friends, but it's just like that best friend role is
Okay, I would never dream of ripping you away from Mezzo. You and Mezzo are like, from my interpretation, platonic soulmates. So
Yes.
it's okay.
Yeah. You got that.
DFs?
You nailed
What
it.
is a DF, Mezzo?
Dear friends.
Dead friends? Oh, dear friends.
Dead. Dear friends. Why wouldn't you say
Like, what
dear?
does
Why
the
would
D
you
mean?
why would you assume dead?
Grease be upon him. Oh shoot. Are you a Christian?
Hell no. But I think you might need to re-examine some scriptures on an issue. When a guest came up and mentioned the sins of like the Midianites and was child sacrifice and all this
We
stuff.
never
It was
talked about the
Amalekites.
Midianites.
Well, anyways, I've heard this claim that when a Christian will say these people were punished because of sacrifices and all this stuff, the common rebuttal is, well, no, they weren't, because the Bible doesn't say that. But I think if you look at Leviticus 18, Leviticus 20, and Deuteronomy 9 and 12 and 18, it will actually tell you that these people did those things. So it's not like when you read the narrative of the atrocity of God
It
being.
doesn't say that.
This is
None
the
of the
thing.
verses that you just listed said that the Amalekites did any of those
Yeah,
things.
that's the difference, right? So there's
Yeah.
Canaanites and Amalekites. The Canaanites are where they're going into, possess the land. Those are the people who they're going to be set apart from, who are doing all the things that are described in Leviticus 18, in Deuteronomy 20. They're the ones that are like putting the children through the fire. The Amalekites are not those people. They're a separate tribe, and the only reason we're going to kill the kids is because of something that happened 400 years prior. So that's why every time we say that, because we're right.
Gotcha. All right, that's all
Yeah.
I need.
It's just because it's what's written in the book,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Grease be
Thank
upon God.
you. I prefer police be upon him than
That's the Muslim
grease.
one, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why we would be greasing up Muhammad. Sounds kind of weird.
I think that guy just liked greasy food.
Did you see he had like a pig profile picture?
Yeah, it was like a greasy pig.
Yeah, a greasy Muhammad pig.
Yeah. Oh, unless is that who is he saying grease be upon him? You know what I mean?
I'm assuming Muhammad.
You think it's a direct thing to the Muslim because that's what they say? Yeah, maybe. I feel like it
Because
may be
it's a play on peace be upon
peace be
him.
upon. Right. I wonder if he thought that through. We should have picked his brain while he was up here.
Yeah, I guess we should have. This person was already here, but hi, Santa, again.
Hi. Wait, I can't see you.
Apparently,
Swipe out and
Joel
swipe
had the
back
same
in.
problem.
Hold on.
Just swipe out, swipe back in. Yeah, and you'll see.
I tried, but it didn't work.
All right, just give it time.
Okay, you're not missing much. As long as I mean, if you're okay with it, I have no issue with you not seeing me.
Do funny faces.
Okay, I heard you talking about the Amalekites, so I went to look it up. And in Exodus 17, it talks about how the Amalekites attacked the Israelites. And then in Deuteronomy 25, I think 17 or 19, I'm not sure. It says that, remember what they did to you? They were attacking those who were weaker and left behind. So they were basically attacking the women and the children.
No, they were attacking all of them.
What?
The Amalekites were attacking all of the Israelites.
I mean, yes, in Exodus 17, yes, but in Deuteronomy 25, it specifies and says the weaker and those behind while they were traveling.
Now,
Right,
just
fine.
to be clear, in the I can never say that passage, that's just a reiteration of the Exodus 17, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a new event. It's just one event has happened, Exodus 17.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And they had just come up out of Egypt, so yeah, they weren't doing well. They were just
they
poor.
Were weak.
Yeah, they were weak. They had a bunch of weapons, I remember, but yeah, they were weak. They still won.
Yeah, they still fucked up the Amalekites.
Do you remember that, Santa? They still won?
Yes, they did. But why were they attacking their weak, their children and the women?
I think these Amalekites were like a nomadic tribe, and maybe the Israelites were in their area or something, or they were real pricks. I don't want to say that the Amalekites were just like sweethearts. They were probably pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, go on.
So I don't think that it was unprovoked just out of the blue that they decided to wipe out the Amalekites.
Well, Arwen, I think you know about that. I don't want to co-opt this live.
Oh wait, well, sorry.
Were you listening?
My best
It
friend
was
Quality is doing his own live right now instead of coming and joining me on here, so I'm just kind of hurt about
okay.
that. I wasn't
You're
listening
beside
for the
yourself.
last three
All
things
right.
you said.
Okay,
I'm beside myself
this is
with
actually
grief.
bullshit. This is actually bullshit. Okay, let me
Honestly,
try.
I went onto their live and said how rude.
Yeah, okay. Well, jump in when you want. So, Santa, the problem is that this genocide that's happening is 400 and some odd years later. So it is kind of out of the blue if you consider that like the people that they're going to kill are nowhere near the people that attacked the same tribe of the Israelites 400 years prior. They're totally different people. And then even if it was the next day, to say to kill the babies is still egregious, isn't it?
Yes.
So there's nothing, there's no way to make this okay.
Do you think that it's okay, Santa?
No, of course not.
Cool. So God, you agree that God did a messed up thing that he shouldn't have done.
Why are we blaming him though? It's the
Because
people
he's
who
the one God's the one who commanded them to do it. That's why I blame him.
Yeah, in 1 Samuel 15:3, he says explicitly, like he says through Samuel to tell Saul to go and kill the babies.
Okay. Also earlier you said that Jesus just gives people disabilities just to heal them.
Yeah.
Yep, that's in
I
there.
don't think that's accurate.
I can read the verse to you if you want. Give me a sec. It's on my
in John
computer.
chapter 9.
So John chapter 9, the disciples ask, who made this guy blind? Like, or why was this guy made blind? Was it because of his sin? Fuck, here comes some drama. Was it because of what he did, or was it because of what his parents did? And Jesus says,
Mezzo,
neither.
this is my BFF. Hold on. Mezzo's asking me in the comments who my BFF is. It's this person. Did you just end your live for me?
Yeah, I did. Josh was like, Cam's upset. I'm like, or Arwen's upset. I'm like, fuck. I'm going over to Arwen's. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
You
Keep
were
going.
in big trouble. I was talking smack. Okay, sorry. Let's get back on topic.
Yeah, just real quick, you did a shitty thing. So Santa.
Yeah.
No, it was a piece of shit move. Anyway, so Santa, they go, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? And Jesus says, neither. He was born blind, essentially, so that I could show off, so I could show how powerful God is. So
not only that, but also in Exodus 4, it says, who gives human beings their mouth? Who makes them deaf or mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Like he's literally just saying that he does that.
Yeah, so this verse, it talks about God is telling Moses that he's the one who gives people this ability, like to speak, hear, and all of the things. But God is speaking about his sovereignty over human abilities and disabilities, not about like malice or like, hey, like I'm gonna do this so that I can heal you.
Who makes them deaf or mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? So the Lord is literally claiming, like, I did that. I make people blind.
I mean, yes, but he doesn't say, oh, just so that I can heal him, just so that I can show off.
Well, that's what we see in John 9. So maybe not every time. Sometimes he just makes people blind just because he loves doing mean things to people. But in the one because he's a prick. But in John 9, he's doing it explicitly to show off. So that's where those two verses kind of connect.
I see your point, but I personally didn't interpret it like that.
So you don't agree with God when he says that he's the one who makes people deaf and blind?
I mean, of course, he's saying that he has the sovereignty to do that, but I don't think he does it from a place of malice.
Sometimes he does.
Mezzo's plotting right now in the comments.
Yeah, I don't know what.
I think Mezzo's slightly upset that you're here right now, Joel, and now they're trying to get back at me by trying to link up with my bestie.
I honestly support it. I think like equality is great and would do wonderful. Equality. Yeah, would just be wonderful on Mezzo's live. I don't know, like equality is like hyper articulate and just like to the point, wonderful.
I love
But a real
equality.
piece of shit for starting a live when Arwen's live.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah, how dare you do that to me? But mind you, equality, I begged you when I first started this live, I was like, please come up here and do this with me. And you're like, no, you're doing so good by yourself.
Because you are like, it pains me. It's like a parent, like, you are your best on your own. You don't need us. And it's like watching you fly. You're like, I'm like, it's so beautiful. But
Are you
then I
trying to
got all
get me
up in my
back right
feels.
now?
I'm soaring through
Because
the sky.
Arwen asked me to come up. So like, I don't know why you're saying that as if like I'm doing something wrong being up here. Like that's such bullet. You're the one that started the live. That's such an attack. That's such an
As soon as
attack.
I got in trouble, though, I came over. Also, Arwen, you are kicking ass. Have you? So I've seen now. This is your third person today. Has anyone responded to why God creates people with disabilities or gives people disabilities with anything other than that's not what the Bible says?
Nope, it's pretty much just I interpreted it in a different way than what the words say. That's pretty much the response.
That does seem to be like the step and repeat process of like, why is God a meanie? Well, let's look at this passage or this story or this scenario or this situation. The God character is mean and bad and does mean things. And then the response is you're interpreting it wrong. That's not what the Bible says. That's not in the Bible. It is in the Bible. He does all these mean things.
Wait, but Santa, when it says, hold on, let me quote it. Let me quote it exactly again. Hold on. When it says, "Who makes them deaf or mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord?" How do you interpret that? Like, what does that mean to you?
To me, it's that he has sovereignty to do that.
But does he do it?
Yes. Sometimes.
Okay, so you agree with our position that he's the one who makes people deaf and blind.
Yes,
right?
But I don't think he does it just so that he can be like, "Oh, I healed you," or like that.
Well, that's in the other verse. That's in John. That one's in John where he's kind of just showing off. But you do agree that God intentionally gives people disabilities?
Yeah.
Do you think that's good?
I don't know.
Like, just hypothetically speaking, if I went over to Equality's house and I intentionally disabled them to the point where they no longer can see, did I do a good thing?
No.
Exactly. So when God is going up to people and he's intentionally disabling them to the point where they can't see, is he doing a good thing?
I mean, it depends.
What does it depend on?
If he gives them other abilities, say they can't see, but they're talented in music and they're able to use that still.
Okay, that's fine. What the hell happened to Equality? I love you. I missed you. But what if I blinded Equality, but I also made sure that they had really good guitar talents? Am I still doing a bad thing? I blinded Equality, but then I gave them like 10 years worth of guitar lessons. Was it bad for me to blind Equality?
But I think you're taking something that they already have.
If I blind Equality and then I proceed to teach them how to be a music aficionado, was the blinding them a good thing?
It's not, because you're taking something away from him, but he doesn't do that.
So when God intentionally disables people and then somehow gives them a special ability, it's still, the disabling still sucks, right?
Of course it always sucks.
So God, just like if I was to intentionally disable someone and then teach them how to have some special musical talent, that doesn't make me blinding them any less awful. In the same way, when God blinds people, that's still awful, right?
Yeah.
So you agree that God is wrong for intentionally disabling people, right?
He's not wrong, but it's mean.
Why wouldn't he be wrong? You agree that if anybody else went around intentionally disabling people, that that would be wrong. Why does God have a special pass?
Because it's not taking it away from them. Like, if they were destined to be that way, then it's not like they had it and then it went away.
But the only reason they were destined to be that way is because God made them that way. So again, why is it good for God? Well, why is it not wrong for God to intentionally disable people? He's making that choice. He could have made them just as able as everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm wildly musically talented. I'm one of the most talented musicians, and I have pretty good eyesight. I have to wear glasses, but I've got pretty good eyesight. So like he can do it that way too, you know? So he's like opting to just like
I just don't quite get why you can't just agree. Like, it seems like you agree with me, but then like something is getting caught up here where you don't want to just like say it out loud that like God did a fucked up thing by making people disabled. God was wrong for that. I feel like you know it.
Because she's not allowed to freely think.
Says who?
The Bible.
That's what your religion. That's what
Your
your religion.
I mean, I have free will though. Like, I can do and think how I please.
All right, then freely say what we all know that you're thinking. You agree that it is bad to intentionally disable people. Why can't you say that it was bad when
I
God
do
did
think
that?
that it's
that was
wrong. Yes, I do think that it's wrong of him, but I don't think he does it so he can show off, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, that's a completely different verse, honestly. I'm talking more about Exodus. In Exodus, it doesn't say that he's trying to show off. That's a different verse that says he's showing off.
Yes, and in
But
that case, then yes, he is wrong.
my whole point here is that God does mean stuff, and you agree that, you know, intentionally blinding or intentionally disabling people is mean, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I feel like my goal has been reached. Next, why do you worship a guy who does things that you know are mean and terrible?
I mean, I feel like I've grown up being taught to do so, and also I've seen him do things that I probably don't think would have happened without him.
But you, so you like, you worship him, you worship a god that you know does mean things because, say it one more time so I can just fully grasp it.
Because as much as he's that way, there's also a lot of good that comes with him. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm wondering.
So,
would you accept this sort of answer about, let's say, a really, really bad person like Hitler? Hitler did all this horrible, horrible stuff. But if someone said, listen, yeah, I know he did all these horrible things, but he does a lot of nice things for me.
That's different.
How?
also, like, you know, say I went around, I don't know, what's a terrible thing that a person can do? Say that I went around intentionally throwing kids who can't swim into large bodies of water.
Oh.
But then on my, when I wasn't doing that, when I wasn't attempting to make a bunch of kids drown, I went and fed the homeless. Am I a good person?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, I'm not a good person because a good act or two or three or even recurring good acts doesn't make up for the heinous act of me trying to drown a bunch of kids, right?
Yeah.
So just as in your God, could be doing a bunch of good things, but that doesn't make up for all of the heinous things that he does, right?
Do you believe people can change?
Not God.
Malachi 3:6. I, the Lord, do not change, lest you sons of Jacob be consumed.
Yeah. So God's like pretty clear that he doesn't change, and God is also not a person. I do think people can change.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, I
not
get
really
that. God
speaking.
doesn't
That's not really
change. Yes.
speaking to my point. That's not really speaking to
Yeah.
my point at all. The reason that you acknowledge that he does harmful things and then worship him anyway is because while he may do harmful things, he also does good things. But then I just gave you my hypothetical of me attempting to drown children and then going to feed homeless people on the weekends. And you still don't think I'm a good person, even though I was feeding the homeless. So you understand that a good action does not cancel out all of the heinous ones that someone can do, right?
Yeah.
So again, I ask, why do you worship a God that you know does heinous shit? If you're aware that the good stuff doesn't cancel out the bad, because it just doesn't, why do you worship him?
I don't know.
Bob, I'm turning your fucking camera off. What the fuck are you doing coming up on my screen?
But you know what, Santa, like when we're raised as Christians, which I think
Yeah.
everybody here was, we're taught that God is all good. He's like fully good, fully loving, fully just. But when we go look in the book, we see that that's just not true. And this is the type of thing that makes you go, okay, is the story that I'm being told accurate? Like, is this God even real? Right. And you're saying that I had some experiences. I don't know what they are exactly, but like maybe you felt God or you saw some things you couldn't explain. And so, because you already have the language of this God of the Bible and this Christian God stuff, you attribute those things to him. And that's not necessarily, that's not maybe not real, right? Like maybe you had these experiences, who knows what was going on there. There might be another explanation, but right now we should be like kind of dealing with, could this God be good? And if this God isn't good because he just like makes people blind arbitrarily, then maybe what we've been taught isn't true. And this is when we start exploring whether or not these beliefs even make any sense.
Yeah. Were you Christian before?
Yeah, I was raised Christian. I was Christian for most of my life still, so a really long time. And it's worth exploring because, like, this is like a drop in the bucket, honestly. Like this verse, he condones slavery. He's hateful, incredibly hateful towards women. He wants women stoned for not bleeding on their wedding night. He wants women set on fire. He just like is the absolute worst all throughout. Did I say condone slavery? I think I may have mentioned that. But that's the God of the Bible. That's the story that these ancient barbarians wrote. And for some reason, you've inherited this because, well, modern Christianity tells you that this God is good. It's not real. Like it's just like, this is what kind of cults do.
Okay.
Santa.
Yeah.
I missed the last like 2 minutes.
That's okay.
But
It was Joel was speaking.
Well, Santa, are you ready to become an atheist now? Would you like to join
Not
atheism?
yet. He
Oh,
sent
all
his
right.
son to die for me, though.
Oh,
He said yet.
interesting.
She said not yet. That means that she didn't say never. She said
You
not
know,
yet.
you know what's interesting about him sending his son is that he didn't have to do that. It was completely unnecessary. If God's all powerful, he makes all the rules. He didn't have to make killing anything the punishment for whatever he decided sin was. So for him to be like, oh, now I have to go and come down as myself and kill myself so that I can, make myself, feel good or something. Like all of that was unnecessary. It's all very silly. As soon as you look at it critically, it's like, what? What's the story?
I feel like he came down, though, to get that human experience.
But if he's all knowing, wouldn't he already understand the human experience just by being omniscient?
Yeah, understanding it, but also experiencing it would be different.
Okay. Maybe he has. Sorry, go ahead, E.
Well, you asked Joel a couple of minutes ago if he was ever a Christian, and then you said, huh, and you could kind of hear you thinking about it. The Jesus character being sacrificed didn't change anything. In the Old Testament, there's a way for you to be forgiven for your sins that includes making an offering. And if you don't have anything, it can include making an offering of flour. Nothing changes by virtue of the Jesus character sacrificing themselves. But let's pretend it did. Imagine that the Bible is correct, that we are all sinful in nature. We are all deserving of hellfire by however we are supposed to be punished. Do you want someone else to take your punishment? If you did something wrong in real life, would you want someone else to go to jail for you? Would you feel like that was moral or just?
No.
I don't want that either. So if the Bible's right and we deserve hell, then we deserve hell. And I don't think it's moral for someone else to take that punishment. So when you say that God sent his son and died for me, no, he didn't. He entirely of his own volition decided that step was necessary. No one required it. And it's also not how morality works. You can't, it's not just for someone else to take the blame. The thing is, when Joel's talking to you, I can hear in your voice that you are thinking about, do these things make sense? And are these things right? So when you say you're not an atheist, yeah, that's fine. Listen, you believe whatever you want to believe. But when you talk about these or hear these stories, you in some ways you sound like an abused partner who just says, but you don't see the good. You don't see when he's good. You don't see the good he's doing. I do think you see and hear that what Joel and Arwen are pointing out to you, that this isn't justice. This isn't morality.
Also, it's so funny. I looked down at my phone for a second and Bible Guy was gone and you were here. And then you guys are playing musical chairs right now, which I'm not mad about.
Oh, we can swap out. I know too much friendly fire
No,
is not.
I love having you here. I don't want to have a massive panel.
Yeah.
I will say I love having you here though.
But Santa, are you thinking about what Joel just said? When he asked you that question, you paused and you said, huh?
A little bit, but I still think he's just to some degree.
What's just about punishing someone for the crimes of somebody else though? Where is the justice in that?
You mean Jesus?
Yeah. He took the punishment for somebody else's crimes. Where is the justice in that?
But it's if he's able to do it just once and it cover everybody.
But that's what I'm that doesn't make it just. Justice would be punishing a person for the crimes that they committed.
But he carried our sins.
Yeah, that's not justice.
That's what he did when he took human form.
That's not justice, though. Like, I'm asking you, where is the justice in punishing person A for the crimes of person B? Where is the justice?
Well, he was without sin, and the sacrifice needed to be someone without sin.
That's not answering my question. What is just about punishing an innocent person for the crimes of somebody else? You're saying God is just, but I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing unfair punishments. Jesus didn't deserve that. He didn't do the crime, but he had to pay the time. That is definitionally
But Jesus
unjust.
is God, so he chose to die for us.
That's fine. He can choose to do something that's unjust, but that doesn't make it any more just. It's still unjust.
I mean, I think it's just if I choose to be sacrificed for your crimes. It's my choice. He wasn't forced to.
Justice isn't served in that scenario, though. If I did crimes and you chose to take the fall for it, you might have done a nice thing for me, but that's not justice. That's not what justice is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if we need to pull up what the dictionary definition of justice is, but I promise you, punishing innocent people for the crimes of somebody else will never be considered justice. It's like the opposite of justice.
Not in our lifetime. I mean, not for us.
Not for anybody. Not for anybody. If the word justice means like, I don't even know, I'm pulling this out of my brain right now, so this probably isn't exactly what the dictionary definition is, but like having punishments that fit the crimes, there's no way on earth that you could say that's just. It's just not. We would have to make up a whole new definition of what justice is in order to make it seem like what Jesus did was just.
It's viewed as justice because, I mean, it satisfied the moral consequences of sin. Because the wages of sin is death.
But the people who sinned didn't die. Jesus did. Well, I mean, yeah, they did. But like the people who sinned didn't die to pay for the sins. It was Jesus who paid for other people's sins.
So he took it upon himself. So it's a balance of justice and mercy.
No, it isn't.
That's not how justice works.
Here.
Also, what is the punishment for sin?
The wages of sin is death.
Okay, so the punishment is death. And what happens to us sinners who don't repent or find Jesus or turn? What is our punishment?
Like going to hell, or what do you mean?
For how long?
For a little bit.
You have to go to hell for a little bit? That's what the Bible says?
I mean, okay, I think it says that sinners will be left after people ascend into heaven, and then they'll be on earth for 1,000 years, and then after they'll go to hell.
For how long?
For a bit, and then they're just gonna not exist anymore.
So they stay on earth for 1,000 years, and then they go to hell, and then they just don't exist anymore?
Yes.
I don't think that's what the Bible says.
What do you think the Bible says?
You go to hell forever. Eternal punishment, fire and brimstone, weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Hold on.
Yeah, and I don't know anywhere. I don't know anywhere in the Bible that says anything other than hell being eternal. It's not for a little while; it's eternity.
So even if we worked past the fact that one character can't take the punishment for another character, and that be considered justice or morality, even if we somehow circumvented that massive flaw in this plan.
I did not mean to bring you up, RC.
Where's your fat?
Sorry.
The Jesus character doesn't take the punishment of eternity in hellfire. He takes a 3-day nap. He doesn't even die. He just dies for a little bit. That's like death adjacent.
Because he's the only one who could beat death. I mean, that's why he created like life after death, because the wages of sin is death, but he beat death so that you can have life after death.
Uh-huh.
That's so crazy though. RC just came up to like insult Bible guy for no fucking reason. Totally took me out of this.
Oh, speaking of which, let's tag out.
All right, musical chairs. Yeah, so
Santa, the
I
story
don't
just
know.
doesn't
I
make no sense. Sorry.
don't make no sense. What Santa, what is your definition of justice? What do you think justice means?
I think it's treating people fairly
And
and
what is fair
impartially.
about what is fair about punishing someone for crimes they never committed?
They choose to do so because they're the only one who can beat death.
But what's fair about it? I get that he chose to do so, even though I really don't think that's biblical. Jesus didn't want to die on the cross. Oh, Father, why have you forsaken me? But even if he did choose to do it, like if hypothetically speaking, if you committed a crime and I went to the judge and I said, I know she did this crime and I didn't do this crime, but I want to serve the time so she can go be free, where's the justice in that? Is that fair? Is that fair to you, the person who committed the crime? Is that fair to me, the person who didn't do it? Is it fair to the victims? Where is the fairness there?
There's no fairness in that.
Exactly. There's no fairness.
But Jesus chose.
Doesn't
And
matter.
he's the only one who could beat death.
In the hypothetical that I just gave you, I
You
chose to
yeah,
do
but you can't
I
beat death.
chose to do the time for your crimes, and you just said that there is no fairness in that. Those were your words. There's no fairness in that. So why is it not fair when I choose to do the crime or do the time for your crimes, but when Jesus chooses to do the time for his crimes, somehow it automatically becomes fair? How
It's
does that
because
square that circle?
it's because sin separates us from God, and Jesus is the only one who could pay the immoral, like the moral debt that was left by us and all the sin that we commit.
No, he didn't have a debt did not need to be paid. God is all powerful. He could just forgive us the debt without anyone else paying for it. In fact, there's a whole ass parable that Jesus even tells about a king who forgives the debt of someone without anyone else paying the debt. And if a king is able to forgive debt without it being paid, then surely God is able to do so.
Can I do my fun analogy of the Jesus
Take
thing?
it away.
Santa, this is an analogy. This isn't entirely true, but one day I was just like hanging around at home, minding my own business, and I get a knock at the door, and it was a couple Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, sorry, don't get bogged down on it being Jehovah's Witnesses because that's not that important to the story, but it's a couple Jehovah's Witnesses there, and I go up to the door and I go, oh no! Oh no, I have this rule that I made up that when somebody comes and stands on my door and knocks at the door and they're on my porch, they have to be thrown into traffic. I just made up this rule all by myself that I have to throw them into traffic, whoever comes and steps on my porch. So now I have to throw you into traffic. And I was like, but don't worry, don't worry. I have myself here as a 3-year-old, my 3-year-old son who's also me. I'm going to throw him into traffic instead. So I grab my 3-year-old who's also me and I throw him into an oncoming semi truck and he gets like splattered all over the road. And then I run out into the road and I hold the guts of my 3-year-old self that's also me. And I go, do you see how much I love you? You see how much I love you that I was willing to throw myself as a 3-year-old into traffic? because of the arbitrary rule I made up that you shouldn't stand on my porch. Anyway,
That's the epitome of justice.
a few hours
honestly.
later, the kid pops back to life, so it was all fine. But it's just like a stupid, such a dumb story, right, Santa?
Yeah, but there's something taught in some Christianity called substitutionary atonement, where Jesus died for our sins even though he didn't commit any crime or any penalty.
That's
Yeah,
wrong.
Also
Innocent people,
unnecessary. Yeah, go ahead.
innocent people being punished, and the wicked being let go for nothing, is the definition of injustice. And in fact, in the Old Testament, God says it's an abomination.
I don't know.
I was also thinking recently, this is a bit of an aside while Santa thinks there, but like Jesus couldn't sin. Like Jesus, it's impossible for Jesus to sin because he's God. So he makes the rules. So as soon as he does something that like, somebody might consider sin, like he just has to say, "Oh, that's not a sin." So he could like throw a kid that can't swim into water and be like, "Yeah, no, that's not sin." So the fact that he died sinless is saying nothing because he sets his own standard. It's all like what the best word for it, Santa, is arbitrary
Okay.
because he's the all powerful creator of the world, allegedly, who makes all the rules, and then allegedly he's innocent because he decided he was, and then he dies for other people, which is not just, not fair, but also nonsensical. It's just not a good story. So you should just abandon it and join us over here with atheism, where we don't have to like try to make it make sense anymore.
Well, the Bible says that God is both just and the one who justifies. So
it says all sorts of stuff
The
because
the Bible's fucking wrong.
it's full of lies. It's just not true.
Is allegedly God's word. You're basically just letting God tell you that he's just, even though his actions tell you he's not.
Like, you agree that justice essentially equals fairness. And you cannot articulate in any way why it's fair to put someone to death for the crimes of somebody else. We've asked you about it multiple times, and you can't do it. Which, honestly, it's impossible to do because it's just, like, definitionally, putting someone to death for the crimes of somebody else just could not possibly ever be considered just or fair. But it's just weird that you are maintaining this position while simultaneously not being able to justify your position in any way.
God's also acting like a hypocrite. If Proverbs 17 verse 15 is to be believed, one who justifies the wicked and the one who condemns the righteous are both alike an abomination to the Lord.
I'm sorry, are you saying that for him to be justifying stuff is an abomination?
No, it's hypocritical because he says that it's wrong to justify the wicked and to condemn the righteous. And the central theme of Christianity is that the righteous one is condemned so that the wicked can be justified. It would make God a hypocrite.
Well, as super interesting as this conversation has been, and definitely not slow as hell, I feel like we're going to let you stew with this for a little bit. Jeff, I see you in the comments, Jeff. I feel like there's not much more to say. She's just like putting
She's
her
got
blinders up.
She's got to work it out.
I mean, we gave her some good things to think about, honestly, but it's not Like every time we get there, she just reverts back to no, but God's all just. In what way? In what way?
You just got to hold on to the indoctrination.
Which, no, I get that. Not really, honestly, no,
No.
because I was never like that. I was never like that. But
It takes time. It takes
I mean,
time.
I understand that people do that. I just don't do that though. Yeah, just don't do that. Just like just understand that justice is not putting people to death for the crimes of other people. Like that's pretty basic stuff. Hello, Casala.
Hello, how's it going?
Pretty good. I've got two good buddies up here. Not best buddies, just good buddies.
Yeah, see, it's gonna be a 3v1.
It doesn't have to be. I can kick them both out.
Oh, I mean,
Just
it's
say the
whatever.
word. Say the word, and they'll lose.
I feel like I just want to get my rhetorical skills up, so you know, it is what it is.
Well, I'm not here to help you get your rhetorical skills up. We're here to talk about like the Bible and stuff.
Me as well. Me as well.
Yeah. Yeah. We're here to help you try to see life.
Theism in total. Yeah.
All right.
So I'm
well, you
guessing
didn't say the
everyone
word, so I'm
here-
not going to tell them to leave.
So I'm guessing everyone here is
I don't want
atheist?
You guessed correctly.
Okay, and I'm guessing the reason why we have this topic or this position is because there are more bad things in the Bible than there are good.
I don't even know that I would make that claim. Probably. I haven't counted. But my position is just the horrible things that God does could never outweigh the good that God does.
Yeah, so that's why I'm just trying to understand like the like why we hold this position. Is there like besides like obviously that there's being bad things, but like would you be convinced that there could be a possibility that there's a good thing that could outweigh the bad things?
No, I don't think there's.
No?
I don't think there is a possible good thing that can outweigh genocide and slavery and all the women hating shit and there's like all that stuff. I just don't think there's a good that can outweigh that. Do you think that there's anything Hitler could have done to outweigh what he did? Like like all things considered, he would be considered a good person. Even though he did the Holocaust, he did this really good thing and that makes him a good person.
I think him not doing that at all would be something that
No, but say that
he could do to not do it.
No. Say he still does the Holocaust, but he also does a shit ton of good things too. Is there any good thing that outweighs the bad stuff that he did?
No, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, no, he did pretty terrible stuff. Yeah, there's nothing good that he could do.
That's how I feel about God.
Do you think I'm just curious, do you think so everything that's happened is bad. There's not one good thing that you can think that God could have done that could have been good that outweighs the bad. Do you think that maybe like creating the universe could have been a good thing that he's done? Like setting everything into motion? Or is it still all bad?
From someone who lives in the universe, and I like living, I would say that that's a good thing. I don't think that outweighs all of the bad, though.
Asking a depressed person that question, they might give you a different answer.
Yeah, that's fine.
But sorry, this is also like all immaterial. God is supposed to be all good. So even if he was mostly good, but we could find like this one bad thing that he did, then that would debunk God. And we could say in that moment he was a meanie. That's all that it is. You like there's no math to be done here. Your God is complete good. But he condones slavery. He actually commands slavery. He says, stone women that don't bleed on their wedding night. Right? He's mean across the board. And the Bible is bunch of bullshit that he's done, a bunch of useless, stupid shit, and then a few decent platitudes. That's it.
Just to be fair, I'll tell you what I am, because I'm not an atheist. I'm more of an agnostic deist than anything. So, just so that we can have that moving forward.
You don't even
I think
believe
it's
in the thing
interesting.
that you came up here to debate.
Well, I mean, I'm discussing the nature of God. You're making an epistemic claim to the nature of God by saying he's a
Okay,
meanie,
you don't
right?
have a you don't. Okay, you'll have to
That's
describe to us
exactly
your
what.
made up version of God. Then, real quick, do a
I'm not
description.
describing my made up version. This is your epistemic claim. To say that God is a meaning, it means that you're holding an epistemic claim of God, of the nature of God,
Yeah,
of a nature of
I
God.
don't want to speak
So
for
I'm just
Arwen,
trying
but I
to.
think Arwen means the Bible God. Is that true,
Yeah, I
That's
know
Arwen?
fine.
he's
That's still.
specifically the Bible God.
Yeah,
That's what
That's
we've been
we're
talking
that's
not
about
fine.
this
That's
whole.
still
we're
God.
not talking about an
Thank you.
undefined God that could be a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We don't know if they're all powerful, all knowing. Like, if you want to discuss the Bible God, sure, but he's just doing rhetoric. This is going to be boring. This
Don't
sucks.
you love it when you
Oh
have
my
to fight
God, you
politics?
guys.
Don't you love
So
it
just
when
so
you?
we're all clear on what's happening, I am gonna take one more guest, and then I am begging my best friend Equality to go live after, and I swear, I promise you won't be in trouble. You won't be in trouble if you go live. The only reason you were in trouble before is because I asked you to come onto my live, and you're like, "Nope, I'm gonna do my own, bitch." I mean, you didn't say it like that, but so just so everybody's aware, one more guest, and then everybody go rate Equality, and then Equality will get in. We'll get some good views. Shut up. Mezzo says that Equality will never be in trouble with him, and you know what? That's fine, but I'm pretty confident in saying that Equality would still choose me. We've got history. We've got history. We love each other. Hello, Nyoku. You there? Yeah. See, I'm right. I know things.
Oh my
Nyoku, are
goodness.
you there? Or should I pick a different last guest?
Yeah, I hope this isn't the last one. Just a silent guy for 5 seconds.
All right, we'll pick a different last guest because I'm not even sure if that person knew that they were here. I'm almost positive that this person that I'm accepting has already been here before. I'll give her a few seconds to join. 1, 2, 3. She didn't join. Next. Hello, Steven.
Hello.
How old are you for TikTok?
49 years old.
And do you believe in the Bible God?
Do I believe in the Bible? Good question. I believe in what's true, and I think Joe can agree.
But do you believe in the Bible God? Do you think the Bible God's true?
I believe in love.
Okay. I'm not doing
I know.
Do you
Not
believe
doing
in
that.
straight answers?
What? What? Bible guy, ask me a question.
Did you have breakfast this morning?
I believe pink is the best color.
Let me try. Do you believe in life after love, after love, after love, after love?
I don't know the words, but I know like how it goes. I really don't think I'm strong enough. Okay, I guess I know some
Okay,
of the
that
words.
does sound like a direct answer, though, to that question. So sometimes you can do it.
Hey, I pride myself in being able to directly answer questions. So, Leon,
Hello. Sorry, it's going slow on my end. Give me one moment, please.
what a great way to end the live. Honestly, just a bunch of
The
technical
bullshit.
difficulties.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Sweet. For TikTok purposes, 45. I believe in all gods, just to state that. I only wanted to come up here to answer the prompt. Why is God, the Abrahamic deity, such a meanie? He's a narcissistic bastard, that's why.
That's not what I want. That's not what I want.
Fourth time's his charm. See if we can
Hey,
get one.
I agree. I like that you think that he's a narcissistic bastard. Like, I'm not angry with that, but I'm angry with the fact that you're not the people that we want to talk to right now.
To be clear, to everyone in the request box, we want to talk to people who believe in Yahweh, the God of the Bible, and who disagree with the fact that he's a meanie. Everyone else, fuck off.
Hey, Sebastian, I guess I do
Oh
need
my
to make
God.
my prompt a little bit more specific. Squimminch, you've waited, you put your comment
I have
on it.
waited
I'm letting you
indeed.
back out.
It was grim. I think that poor woman might have lost her faith, which is a shame. The Santa
We did
woman.
good. We did really fucking good talking to her, don't
I
you
just
think?
think she came in a little bit ill prepared for a debate against people who are well read in scripture, to be quite candid. That was a tough watch. I will admit. I had to sit through it. It was a tough watch. But for TikTok purposes, I am 24 and I very much believe in Christ, mind, body, and soul, and Yahweh as well, of course.
That's who we want to talk to.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, so you were up here earlier on this live. But let's
like 30
start
seconds or
fresh. Let's start fresh completely. Why is the Bible God such a meanie?
Well, he has kind of said so himself. In Isaiah 45, I would say that he kind of admits to being a meanie. In fact, he says, I am the Lord and there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So it seems as though, I'm sure that all of you guys have read that.
Yeah, but why?
He creates the darkness so that he can form the light within it. It's always the same. Like, almost imagine a canvas, if you will. There is no light without there being a backdrop of darkness, like in a very literal sense.
What do you mean canvases are white?
I mean, like,
Generally speaking, if you go to the craft store, you're gonna see a fuck ton of white canvases.
Yeah, I mean, the color or the absence of color
black
is
canvases.
white. Okay. I mean, do you not understand what I mean, though? That, like, darkness has to be present first.
Apparently I didn't get it because you said it's like a canvas, except there is no darkness on a canvas. It's all white.
Okay. When I say canvas, I mean more in a broad sense, right? Like something whereby
Not by
light
what an
is
actual
presented
canvas
on.
is.
Broadly speaking, all canvases start white.
Okay. Understood. Forgive me. Well, then.
It's like a really dark tarp. Just call it a tarp.
Yeah.
It's
like one of them really like dark blue tarps.
Yeah, like
It's
God
like,
made just like a big dark tarp, and then people need to like cut holes in it or something.
Are you trying to make the claim that light cannot exist without darkness and vice versa?
Not vice versa, but yes, light cannot exist without darkness.
So darkness can exist without light, but light can't exist without darkness. Why is that?
Because darkness is an absence of light.
And?
That's your answer.
Is there darkness in heaven?
Of light. No.
So light can't exist without darkness.
That's interesting. I think that's well said. I honestly don't know to imagine what heaven would be like. Obviously, I think it's beyond my realm of comprehension. But at least in this world that we inhabit, that is the case. In a world where evil and good are present, and light and darkness are present, it seems to be the case, observably, that you need darkness in order for light to be created within it. No, I don't think so, but I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I think it would be quite unfathomable.
But in order to say that you can't have light without darkness, you would have to say that there's darkness in heaven.
Well, it's my understanding that heaven is a place without sin entirely, so there would be no darkness.
Right? Yeah, it could just be that here.
So it is totally possible to have light without darkness, according to Squimminch.
I think that we're kind of going in a loop. But nonetheless, in regard to
why you're going in a loop because you're not making a whole lot of sense. You're contradicting yourself. You're saying that you can't have light without darkness except for the times that you can have light without darkness.
Well, everything I've ever observed in this body, in this world, that is the case. I don't know about a world to come.
So the question is the necessity of it, right? So you're making a claim of necessity, and that's why God created this world to be like this. But if it's not necessary, then he arbitrarily decided to have 600,000 people raped every year, as if that, would be a good thing in order to be able to see the light or something, right? Like it starts not making sense really quickly.
I think that we're getting hung up in the literal interpretation. But the reason I bring that verse up specifically is because he admits to being quote unquote a mini, or if nothing else, creating evil such that
So
he can form light
you
within
wouldn't
it,
ascribe
whatever that
God as
means.
being omnibenevolent?
I do think that he is omnibenevolent, let's say. I think he's also terrifying. Like in regard to his being a meanie, which is the prompt, it certainly seems to be the case to me that people get punished quite viscerally
So
for
you're
electing to
just
go the
completely
other
fine with
direction.
affirming contradictions, is what I'm seeing, because you have said that you agree that he does mean stuff,
I think that
but then
justice falls into
you also
omnibenevolence.
say that he's omnibenevolent.
Indeed. Yeah, I think that justice is a trait of omnibenevolence, yes.
Well, this isn't justice.
Meanness isn't, though, and you affirmed that he does mean stuff.
I mean, that's more specifically like as for the prompt, right? I, of course, don't interpret it to be mean. I interpret it to be just, right? But for the sake of the prompt and for the sake of...
Is it not mean to have an innocent woman graped for something she didn't do?
I don't know what you're referring to.
David's wife.
Just in general? I'm sorry?
God.
Second Samuel, when God punishes David by having his concubines ripped out of their house and raped in broad daylight by the neighbor, you would say that that's a good thing to do? That's an omnibenevolent thing to do?
I can't exactly speak on behalf of God, to be quite candid.
Why are you coming up here and trying then?
I'm not attempting to speak on behalf of God, but in regard to him being a
I didn't
meanie,
ask you, we're asking what your thoughts are on things that God does. You say that he does mean things, but then also he's omnibenevolent. And we're asking you very specifically about a verse that happened in the Bible where God has a man's wives ripped out of their homes so that they can be taken in broad daylight by the neighbors. You would say that that's an omnibenevolent thing to do?
I would say that I don't understand. Truly, that's my answer. I don't understand as to why that would
So
be
if
the
you
case.
don't understand, then how do you feel comfortable saying he's omnibenevolent?
Just because I don't understand all of his actions, that doesn't mean that I can't have the belief that I think that he is an all good God.
But if you don't understand, then how do you feel comfortable saying that he's omnibenevolent when you don't understand? You not understanding means that it very well could be a fucked up thing to do. You don't understand one way or the other.
I don't think
Right?
that I can bring a charge against God. Like, I don't think that I can go to God and be like, look at this terrible thing he's
Nobody's
done.
saying that that's what you need to do.
Well, if I were
You
to hold that
say
belief
that
system,
God
that
is
would be great.
omnibenevolent. Omnibenevolent means that he is all good and everything he does is good.
Yes.
So that means when God said that he was going to have these innocent women ripped out of their homes so that they can be taken in broad daylight by the neighbor, you think that that's an omnibenevolent thing to do.
Yes, but I can't explain why. Like, I don't know why he would do such a thing. But beyond that, I do think that his character is of omnibenevolence and justice.
If in the Bible, instead of God claiming that he's going to have those women ripped out of their homes, it's Joel. Joel's in the Bible and he says, I'm going to have these women ripped out of their homes. Is that still an omnibenevolent thing to do? Is that still good?
No,
Now that it's
certainly
not
not.
God doing it and it's just a human?
No, it would not
So
be good.
what is the morally relevant difference there?
Because
Sorry,
that's-
Joel. I didn't mean to use you, but I needed a human being. Okay, fine, me. What if I'm the one, let's just say I'm the one who does it. What's the morally relevant difference between God saying that he's going to, do that thing and it's still considered all good, and me doing it and somehow it's not good? What's the difference?
Because the God of all of creation can interact with creation as he sees fit. You do
I
not
agree
have that
with
right.
you. A God who is all powerful can do whatever the hell he wants to do. I'm not arguing that, but that still doesn't make everything that he does good, right? Like if I woke up tomorrow and God says, "Hey, I gave you the power to do literally anything." and then I go around and start, I don't know,
Throwing kids into bodies of
skinning
water.
dogs. Yeah, throwing kids into large bodies of water. Does that mean that what I'm doing is good just because I have the power to do whatever I want?
In this context, are you the like most high God? Or are you just somebody that has a bunch of crazy
You
tech?
said that he has the power to do anything, and that makes whatever he does good, right?
I wouldn't say that it's exactly because of that, but yes, whatever he does is good by default.
Yes. So if let's say, so you think it's good that God says, I'm going to have these women ripped out of their homes and they're going to be taken in broad daylight by the neighbor. You think that that's good. But when I do it, it's not. So back to the question, what is the morally relevant difference there? And then you answered that question with God can do whatever he wants because he's God. That still doesn't make it good though.
Because morality is hierarchical. And so him being the highest being on the hierarchy, there is nobody that can come and bring a case against God and say, hey, you've done this evil thing. There is nobody that can come and accuse God of mischief.
Wait, so you're essentially just saying might makes right. As long as you are powerful enough that people can't check you on your shit, then everything you do is good, right?
I don't think it's because of that. I do think that the God of all
But you
things
said
is
it's
truly
hierarchical. There's
omnibenevolent.
nobody
It
above
is.
God. There's
You
nobody
believe
above
that.
God to check him on his shit. So hypothetically speaking, if there's a human being who is the highest of all the human beings, everything he does according to all the other human beings who are less than him would be good because there's no human being above the most powerful human being that could check him.
No, because
Right?
he's still a human being. There's like morality is hierarchical by way of there is a different law for God, which is none, and there is a law given to men, which they must abide by. And you believe that morality is hierarchical because if there were a bunch of cockroaches in your house, you would kill them. A lesser entity that is invading into your
I don't
space.
love cockroaches. Does God not love human beings?
I think
I mean,
that
it's honestly just like a really boring talking point. Might makes right. God is good because good is God. That's what you're saying here.
It's lazy, intellectually speaking.
It's really fucking lazy and it's boring.
It becomes absurd, right? Because like God could now go ahead. Sorry, Arwen.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say, like, we could have God saying, the classic "turn babies into paste" type thing. Like, you go to heaven and he's standing there and he's just like putting babies through a wood chipper, and you would go, "Well, I guess that's good."
Like, is there any difference between these two sentences, Squinch? God is good, and God is jibber jabber.
what does jibber jabber mean?
Well, it doesn't mean anything, which is what the word good means in your world. Anything God does is good by default. Good loses all meaning. It doesn't track with anything. You might as well say God is jibber jabber, and it conveys the same amount of semantic meaning.
What is good in your worldview then, if it is of such grand import and stature? That is not good exactly.
Let's get the definition here. Let's Google what is the definition of good.
While she's looking that up, I'd say beneficial towards the goal of fairness and well-being.
Something positive, morally excellent, or suitable for a specific purpose. So, like, pretty much essentially what Bible guy just said.
What did the Bible guy just say? I'm sorry?
Beneficial towards the goal of well-being and fairness.
So if you have to kill a lot of people to progress to that goal, is that good?
No, because it's not. It's going directly against the fairness and well-being of the people who are being killed.
Let's say you only had to kill a handful relative to the rest. That then
No,
everybody else
because it's
progresses and
still
leaps in
going
battle.
directly against the fairness and well-being of the handful.
Also note that
Even if it's just one person.
Also note that I'm not omnipotent. If I was omnipotent, I would be able to accomplish the fairness and well-being of the maximal number of people, which would be all people, without having to make any difficult decisions. But because I'm a human being and I'm limited in my power, sometimes we have to make difficult decisions in order to, produce the maximum amount of fairness and well-being. But your God isn't bound by that like decree. If God wanted to, he could bring about the fairness and well-being of all people without exception.
How? By getting rid of sin?
I don't know. He's all powerful, is he not?
Yeah, and that's kind of like the story that's unfolding
Could
through
God
time.
accomplish his goals without any person being mistreated or harmed?
I'm honestly not sure. I don't know how.
Then he wouldn't be all powerful.
Yeah. If God is all good, all powerful, and all knowing, then one, if he's all good, he desires that everyone should have fairness and well-being brought to them. If he's all knowing, he knows how to do that. And if he's all powerful, he's able of doing it. The only way you can get out of this is by sacrificing one of these three omni properties on the altar of your logic, on the altar of logic. Either God doesn't want it, but he knows how to do it and he's powerful enough, in which case he's a dickhead. Or he wants to do it, he is powerful enough to do it, he just doesn't know how to do it, so he's ignorant. Or he knows how to do it and wants to do it, but he's just not powerful enough to make it happen. Those are your only options. Or he just doesn't fucking exist.
Or that he is working out his plan through time.
No.
Irregardless of what it is.
No, because we currently live in a world where there is affliction. And the thing I just said is about how God could achieve his goals without affliction.
I'm completely unsure how the experience of those things would manifest. Like, I can't put myself into the shoes of being those traits. So it's like, I truly don't know how you would perceive this creation through those words. Like, whatever they mean, I don't exactly...
Like heaven. All good, no darkness. God's able to make it. We know he's able to make it because heaven is that thing. So there's nothing stopping him from having done that here on earth.
And that is what is being done, though, like through the entirety of the story.
Without affliction. Does your God not know how to do it without bringing affliction?
I honestly don't know. I'm of the belief that is what is being knit together through time, right? And that is what is prophesied. At least in the entirety of Revelation.
I'm getting that one of these tri-omni properties just aren't real.
Or we as human beings don't
background,
understand
Dalton.
the tri-omni properties.
But okay, back to the topic, Squinch. Is there anything that God could do that would be bad?
To our perception as humans, yes, certainly.
No, to God. Is there
Just objectively?
anything that
No.
God could do that would be objectively bad?
No.
So if he went and threw a bunch of kids that don't know how to swim into large bodies of water, that would not be objectively bad.
I don't believe that's within the character. But like,
It doesn't matter. I'm not asking you if it's within his character. I'm asking if he did it, hypothetically, would it be bad?
I guess then if the premise that I operate on is that he is omnibenevolent, then yes, that would be the case. That doesn't mean that I could explain it to you or know why it would be, though.
Wait, you think it would be the case that it's bad, or you think it would be the case that it's good?
No, I think it would be the case that it's good.
Okay, so if God, I don't know, rounded up every little kid on Earth and put them in a locked room with every predator on Earth, every child predator on Earth, would that be objectively good?
I feel like these are somewhat disingenuous hypotheticals, but then like obviously at such a point I'll have to say no.
You're the
This is
one
such a
who is
jarring
You're
hypothetical.
the one who's being disingenuous here. You're saying that there is not anything that God could do that would be bad, which is just fucking stupid.
If God says that something is an abomination, does that mean he thinks it's bad?
Yes.
And if God did the thing that he called an abomination, would that be God being bad?
If he did it in the flesh or if he did it from like the throne.
So God can do things that are an abomination from the throne. Like he could, like for example, like he could bang a guy. You know, he could do same-sex marriage, which is an abomination in the Bible. But as long as he does it from the throne, it's fine.
I don't exactly like what you're talking about.
Honestly,
like
it's
God
honestly
having
just
sex
like
with people.
extremely boring and intellectually lazy. Like, you know for a fact that if if we did these things, if human beings did these same fucking things that God does in the Bible, everybody, or the vast majority of us, I'm sure everybody on this panel would think that it's wrong. If I went out and started slaughtering babies and burning women alive, I know everybody on this panel would say that I'm wrong. But somehow, according to you, just the fact that it's God doing the fucked up shit instead of humans, it automatically becomes good. Like, this is just lazy thinking.
If God in the flesh as a man did those things, yes, that would be evil. But when he did manifest in the flesh, he went around healing the sick and
What does it
preaching to the
matter?
poor.
What does it matter if he's doing it in the flesh or not? When God floods the earth, he's still doing it regardless of the fact that he is flesh. When God is commanding people to slaughter babies, he's still making those commands. But somehow you can acknowledge that if any fucking human being did it, it's wrong. But then when God does it, somehow it magically becomes good. It's just fucking lazy. And you don't even have any justifications for this. You're just like, oh, well, it has to be good because he's God and God is good. Like, you're just being fucking lazy.
Is a gardener evil if he plucks weeds out of his garden?
He's evil if he planted the weeds.
Are weeds sentient moral agents?
I have no clue.
They're not. You don't know anything. That's what I'm getting to the
You
conclusion.
don't know jack shit, dude. What do you fucking know other than I'm gonna put my blinders on and God is perfect and everything God does is good and he's incapable of doing bad. Like, also, just like, sorry, I'm like kind of getting a little upset here because you're fucking like, you're not engaging in this in any way that actually like makes the conversation go forward. If God is physically or metaphysically in any way not capable of doing good things, he is not all powerful. If he's not capable of doing good thing or bad things from one reason or another, he's not all powerful. You can't call him that anymore.
You're
Also,
on my nose for squinch. Intellectually lazy, doesn't know anything.
like, he just,
I interrupted her just to say
honestly
that.
just like really upsetting because like I think Squimminch, you know in your heart and in your brain that anybody who genocides is bad. You know anybody who burns women alive is bad. You know anybody who puts people to death for crimes of somebody else is bad. Yet for some fucking indoctrinated cult reason, you won't allow yourself to say that it's bad when God does those things.
Because what I believe is that the difference between good and bad is what God decrees the difference between good and
Exactly.
bad to
God
be.
is good because good is God. It's circular as fuck. There's no actual grounding for that. It's just a circular fucking clusterfuck. There's nothing there. There is zero substance to what you say because you are just putting your blinders on and going, there's no way that God could do bad, even though I'm reading these things that God does, that any human being, if any human being does it, it's bad. But for whatever reason, God is good, so good is God. Like it's nothing. It's a nothing burger. You have nothing and you know nothing. Sorry for getting angry with you, but you're being fucking obtuse as hell.
And if
I'm not trying to be. I mean, this is
You
genuinely
are though.
what I believe. I'm
You
not
are
attempting to be
though.
obtuse.
You are, well then maybe you're just obtuse like by your own just because you have no choice but to be anything other than that. You're not attempting to do it. You just are that way.
I just believe this.
It doesn't but you have no reason to believe it. When a human does genocide, we have reasons to say why that's bad. When God does genocide, the only reason that you can give as to why it's good is because God is good and good is God. It's nothing.
I
It's
think that the
literally
creator can
nothing.
do with his creation as he pleases.
And
Even if
I
you don't
agree
like
with
it.
you. I agree with you that a God who creates everything and is all powerful can do whatever the fuck he wants and nobody can tell him otherwise. But that doesn't make everything he does good. That's two separate things. Being able
Whatever
to
is
do
good,
whatever the fuck you want, being able to do whatever the fuck you want because you're in charge and you made it all, does not necessarily mean that everything you do is good. Those are two completely separate ideas.
By
You
your
don't know what
standards, though.
Swims, you don't know what good is. You keep saying God is good, but you don't know what that word means. It's
Yeah,
meaningless in your world.
what does good mean to you, Squimmage? Like, don't use the word God in this definition at all. What does the word good mean?
I think things that overall produce more love and peace and equality, I would say, although that's a broad word. Beauty, camaraderie, things of these nature. I would say that all of those things are good.
So not
Then
Yahweh.
how the fuck can you say that genocide and burning people and stoning people and putting innocent people to death for crimes that they didn't commit, how does any of that fit into the definition you just gave?
Well, if you're talking about the Amalekites, then they deserve it.
No, don't try to obfuscate the things that I just listed that are in the Bible. How the fuck do those things fit into the definition of good that you just gave us?
Okay, I am of the belief that God knows significantly more than me. So if he is doing something, even if I don't understand why, or even if it makes me feel spooked or makes me feel, oh wow, like what a crazy thing.
I'm muting you. So your answer is you don't have an answer. Just say that. Just say, I don't know how those things are considered good. I just choose to believe it anyway. That's what your answer is.
Squimch,
You don't know why genocide is good. You just choose to believe that it is. You don't know why burning and slaughtering and stoning and executing innocent people is good. You just choose to believe that it is. That's the answer.
Squimch, if God were evil, would you be able to tell?
Honestly, I guess not. Probably not. No.
So your God might just be evil, and you're just like intellectually deficit, and you've never exercised any of your ethical muscles, so you're incapable of knowing whether or not your God is evil or not. Your God could just be evil, and you worship him.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's a way out there hypothetical, of course.
It's
like,
not way out
I
there.
How is it
have
way out
no
there?
knowledge.
You've demonstrated to the audience and to us that you don't have you've never exercised any of your ethical muscles. You don't know
What does that mean?
Wait, I have a question. Squimmage. Can you give me the distinction between having morals and blindly following whatever God tells you to do? Is there even a distinction there?
I would think that there's a distinction there. Yeah.
So what is the difference? What is the difference between having a moral compass and doing whatever God tells you to do? Because from this whole conversation that we've had, to you, goodness is whatever God says. So what is the distinction?
Well, my moral code definitely pales in comparison to what God has said. So obviously that would be the standard to shoot for.
So what is the distinction between having morality and blindly doing whatever God says?
Well, I believe that every human being has morality by virtue
What
of
is
it
the
being through God.
distinction between having morality and doing whatever God says? What is the difference between those two concepts?
Okay, if I hold to a moral code, it will fall short of doing what God says. Those are the difference between those two concepts. So having a moral code, my own moral code, would fall short to what God has commanded. Most specifically
Okay,
in the
that's
New
not
Testament.
the distinction, though.
That is
You
the
aren't
distinction.
giving me any distinction. I want to know what is the difference between having a morality and then doing whatever the fuck God tells you to do.
What does quote unquote having a morality mean?
Being a moral agent, being
What does
able to
that
think
mean?
in your brain what is right and wrong, and then using those thoughts in your day-to-day life. What is the difference between having good morals and just blindly doing whatever God tells you to do? What's the difference there?
Again, I mean, you've asked this 3 times, so I'll have to say pretty much
You
the same
have not
answer.
given me the answer.
I have. My moral code falls short of a perfect
Do
moral
you
code.
realize how that's not the fucking answer? I didn't ask if your moral code falls short. I'm asking you what the difference is between having morals, having good morality, and following what God tells you to do? What is the difference?
There
I didn't
is
ask
none.
if your
Then.
morality falls short.
Yeah, no,
I
there
didn't
is no
ask.
difference.
I want to know what the difference is between these two concepts. To
Yeah, there is
me,
none.
exactly. Exactly. You don't have morals. You just follow your fascist dictator. You don't have morality. You are not a moral agent. All you do is follow whatever your dictator God tells you to do, no matter how heinous it is.
You're no
That's
different.
not morality.
You're no different than the SS soldiers who just blindly followed Hitler for whatever he said. You're no different. You're just You're just an obedient little dog, and you're not actually a moral
To
agent.
a perfect standard of righteousness, yes, I am
You
striving
don't
to be an
know that's
obedient
you
dog
don't
to
know
a
that's a
perfect
perfect
standard.
standard of righteousness. You just believe it because you're told to believe it.
Gwimich.
Yeah, you have no concept of what actually is a perfect standard of righteousness because you just admitted to us that your only morality is just doing whatever God says.
That is the peak morality to strive for.
But
Prove
Squimich,
it.
let me ask you this real quick. In the Quran, it says to hit your wife. Do you think when Allah told Muhammad to tell everyone to hit their wives, that was a bad thing?
I don't believe in the Prophet Muhammad, obviously.
No, of course. So do you think that was a bad thing that the God Allah said through the Prophet Muhammad?
I think that it was a bad thing that the Prophet Muhammad said, yes.
Yeah. So when the God of the Bible tells Moses to stone women who don't bleed on their wedding night, all of a sudden that one's okay, right? That's fine.
That's an excellent point, truly. That's a well-worked point.
So both of these things are gods. Both of them are ultimate standards, but you've just arbitrarily chosen one to follow, even though when we look at it,
Well, it's not
it is
arbitrarily.
Arbitrary
okay.
as hell.
You might perceive it as arbitrary.
Well, you
I, of course, don't.
presuppose it, right? So like
Yes.
the point is that like if we say to ourselves, all right, so there is an all good God somewhere. There's an ultimate moral standard that is God somewhere. Then we can go look for it, right? And we can go look at the Quran and we can go, oh, that guy says to hit your wife and his prophet was a pedophile. Okay, that's not a good moral standard. Now let's look over here. Okay, the Bible, this one says burn women alive. Okay, keep slaves. All right, that's not a good moral standard. And we can keep looking until we find that God. I understand that you want the God that has the objective moral standard, but I don't think we've found that, right? Because we can see in the books that they're not good. I don't know why you're presupposing it. That doesn't make sense.
Well, then, and that's excellently articulated. But then, so what would we be looking for the moral standard to compare these holy texts to?
We would just go like, all right, so is it good? Is it ever good? Can we imagine in our wildest dreams that it's good to stab a toddler that's sucking on its mother's breast? And if the answer is no, obviously no, then we can reject the God that says to do that, right?
But who
like,
is
it's
the
not
we
hard
there, though?
What's that?
Who is the we there? Because it's like you're articulating
Humanity.
an excellent
Human
point.
beings.
But is it just like, because
beings.
there are some human beings that would do that. So it's like if those human beings were to say,
Right.
yes,
They're
Yeah,
the
like
people that wrote the book.
you're one of those people that would do that,
Yeah,
right?
they're the
As
people that
long as
wrote the
God
Bible.
tells you to do it.
I'm sorry, you guys are talking over each other.
There's literally not anything that's off limits for you. I don't even understand how you could ever argue that anything is immoral because the second God tells you to do it, it becomes good. So literally, according to you, everything is fucking good. There's not you couldn't name one thing that is objectively bad according to your own standards.
What are you talking about? The entirety of the standards has many things that are objectively bad.
No, because
Okay, so name one.
Yeah.
Name one.
The entirety of the Ten Commandments are objectively
No, just
bad.
name one thing that you know is objectively bad. Do it.
Committing adultery, let's say.
Okay, so what happens when God tells you to, what happens when God comes down and he says, hey, I need you to commit adultery? Is it objectively good then because he told you to do it?
He wouldn't contradict his own words.
Oh, I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you that. I said, when God comes down and looks at you in the eyes and he says, and also he would contradict himself, read the Bible. When God comes down and looks at you in the eyes and he goes, I need you to commit adultery for X, Y, and Z reason. Is it still objectively bad? Or does it
I don't
magically become good because God is telling you to do it?
I don't believe that your hypothetical is rooted in anything that would happen.
I don't give a shit what you think about my hypothetical. Engage with it.
It's a disingenuous hypothetical.
There's literally nothing on earth that you could say is objectively bad because the second God tells you to do it, it becomes good.
But I'm not of the belief that you would
The
tell
only
me to go
things that
do
you can
objectively
see as
bad things.
objectively bad are the things that God has not yet commanded you to do.
So, everyone, just so we're clear, if you're interested in Christianity, know that if you become a Christian, it will require you to turn off your brain for God, as this individual here has done. They're not incapable. They're not capable of thinking for themselves. They are a robot.
Jeff, please. I need you to come and try to smack some sense into this person.
All right, cool. I ain't got a ton of time because I'm waiting for somebody to bring my food to the car, but I want to try this from a different angle. Squimmage. Is that the name?
Squinch, but yeah.
All right. When they told you if God does XYZ from the throne, would it be good? And you say, yeah. Why was that again?
Because I believe that there is a hierarchical moral structure. So it's like, if as sitting on the throne of all things, I believe that God can interact with creation however he sees fit. And there's nobody that can come and accuse him of mischief.
No. So okay, that's not what you said before. Like that is nonsense, right? Because now you're saying that if he from the throne wants to stomp out little puppies and just to hear them cry, then you'd be like, yeah, that's cool. He's from the throne. Remember, you said good is the stuff that brings the Care Bears and has everybody hug each other and all that other stuff, right?
I mean, no, but I understand what you're saying.
But that's what you said, right? When the good is, it increases happiness and all the fluffy stuff. Like, make sure your pillow's always cool, right? That stuff.
Sure.
All right. So then you then said it's because God knows more stuff than you do.
Yes, I do believe that God knows more stuff than I do.
All right, cool. Does that work on a scale?
I think the scale would be incomprehensible.
No, but like is it quantifiable on a scale? Like, for example, I probably know more stuff than you do. Neil deGrasse Tyson knows more stuff than I do, right? Like that.
Sure, if you want to, frame it that way.
So then theoretically, anybody who knows more stuff than you do could stomp out a baby and you would have no grounds to say to them, yo, that you an asshole, that was wrong.
Well, my belief of the fact that it is okay for God to do these things is not contingent on the fact that he knows more stuff than I do.
Wait,
it is that he
it's
is
totally
God.
No. Listen, the other thing about just he has a title, remember, that's the thing.
It's an important title, though.
That's the.
It might be a little too hard to fit it through the window. Did you want me to just put it in the
Yeah,
back?
that's fine. That title thing is nonsense.
You want me to sit it on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
That title thing is nonsense because that's the part where he could do stuff that doesn't increase happiness and everybody being
You might
cool.
have to lift up the chair.
Does that make sense?
I'm sorry. I think there was somebody talking in the background. Do you mind repeating that?
The title thing makes it so that God could command things that don't increase happiness and don't increase solidarity and don't increase equality and all that other stuff he said, right? Like if it's just the fact that he has the throne, he could say, hey, I've decided right now that every third baby you meet, slap them in the mouth for no reason. And it's actually not going to improve anything. I just want you to do it because it makes me laugh. And you would have to say, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I would have to say that.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
you would
insanity. You're not talking about what like me, Arwen or Dalton would be considering good. You're just talking about some other shit. You're talking about like steering wheel. You're talking about grass-fed bupkis. Like you're not talking about good anymore. You're just talking about do a thing.
Yeah, but again, like you guys can presuppose however many hypotheticals where it's like,
No,
but
no,
then
no.
what if God
I'm not
did this
presupposing.
super
No, no,
bad
no.
thing?
This isn't presupposing hypotheticals.
Yes, it is. He's
This is
hitting
you.
every
No, no,
third
no.
baby.
Listen. When I say good, and I don't typically use language like that, right? But if I was to be generous and say the word good, I'm going to say something that improves something that's beneficial, something that increases well-being, some people might say, right? That's what I mean by the word good. Do you agree?
Sure.
Okay. But when you when you're using the word good with God, or you attempt to use the word good with God, you don't mean that anymore. You just mean the shit that the motherfucker on the throne said. That's not good anymore. You're using a different, like, you're either changing the definition, which is fine, but just use a different word. Just say that the stuff God does is
Righteous. How about that? We'll go for
no, because
righteous.
righteous has a definition
Righteous
also.
is the perfect word.
If I say righteous, I'm gonna make that
Just.
synonymous with good. You saying
It
righteous, you're just trying to fit another word it's more nonsense, right? Maybe
Proof is a good
authorized.
word.
You should say authorized.
No, I think righteous works well, actually.
No,
I think that's
what is the
probably the best
definition?
word.
Listen, if you look up in a dictionary, standard, what the definition of righteous is, it's not going to say the shit that the motherfucker on the throne said. It's going to say something that's somewhere in the ballpark of good. Right?
I'm not sure. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so we're back to the same problem. You're going to righteous is something that's good to do, moral to do, okay to do, back to beneficial, increasable, but you don't mean that. You mean the stuff that the dude in the chair said.
I think that those things are the same thing, though. Like, do you not?
But they're no, look. If the stuff the dude in the chair said can't be measured by those predicates that you set, improvement, well-being, beneficial. Remember, I told you he could say slap every third baby for no reason because it makes me laugh. And you were like, yeah. Clearly, slapping every third baby does not improve well-being, right?
Yeah, but is all that? Is this just a repeative of like, well, what about this disingenuous hypothetical where
It's
he
not
did
a
this thing that's
listen,
completely outside of his nature? It's like it's just the same thing over and over.
No, listen. If you give me the hypothetical and you say, hey, is slapping babies in the face beneficial? Watch this. Hey, Dalton, you there?
Yeah.
Do you think it's beneficial to slap every third baby you meet?
Nope.
See how fast that was? Before you even got the stopwatch out.
Also, let me just interrupt. I don't know how on earth, I'm listening, I'm just not on camera. I don't understand how you could possibly say that slapping every third baby is a disingenuous hypothetical when literally in the Bible, God commands all firstborns to be slaughtered. What's disingenuous about slapping every third baby?
Oh, you're talking
Okay,
about
I'm going back off
Egypt.
camera.
Yeah. So no, not in Egypt. No, there's actually a commandment that every firstborn belongs to me. And then he says later, I made you put every firstborn through the fire. Like he says it. But I'm not even talking about that. When I give you a hypothetical, I'm testing a logical principle, and you're at a disadvantage with my logical principles. Do you know why?
No.
You're at a disadvantage because you're not giving me a Jeff, right? Like if you said, like if Dalton said to you, hey, I know this guy named Jeff. He's a jerk. And you said, well, did he shoot a bazooka at the moon? Dalton would be like, yeah, he doesn't have one of those, right? So that's not a really realistic hypothetical for him to shoot that at the moon, right? If you said, hey, did he knock down the Empire State Building? Well, he doesn't really have the facility to knock down the Empire State Building. So that's not a realistic hypothetical. But when we're talking about God, the God that you're giving us, he doesn't have those limits, right? If God wanted a bazooka, he can have a bazooka. So any hypothetical I give you is a possible hypothetical, no?
I never said that it was impossible. I said that it was disingenuous.
What do you mean by disingenuous?
Like the hypotheticals are just over and over again. It's like I say that I think something is good because God has decreed it, and then you say, "Well, what if God did this
have a problem
evil
with
thing?"
language.
I
With over
guess
and over
like
again just means repetitive. But again, if you're not capturing the principle, I have to repeat it, right? If you're saying yes, I would have you did say that, right? When I gave you the hypothetical of the babies, you said, yeah, I would have to say that's good, right?
yes, I would have to.
And so then I'm telling you, clearly slapping babies is not a beneficial thing. Would you agree? We're
I
just
would
further
agree.
analyzing the same topic.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. So now you're no longer talking about good. You're talking about something else. I don't know how you don't see that.
I don't think I don't know how you don't see this, because again, you're presupposing that God would do this thing, which I don't think is the case. That's the difference, is that
Didn't
God has
Arwen
not
just
decreed the
tell
thing.
you that he commanded the unaliving of every firstborn? Do you not know that God has commanded the unaliving of entire people groups, including babies?
Oh yeah, many.
Okay, cool. So then what analysis are you doing to say that he would never do the thing that you've already seen him do? What's worse? Let me ask you
Because he
this.
would never do
Hold
it
on. No,
pointlessly.
he would never do it because he would never do it. That's brilliant. Let
That's
me
not what
ask
I
you this
said,
question.
bro. He would never do it
Let me ask you,
purposefully.
hold on. Let me ask you this question. Which is more extreme, to slap a baby or to unalive all of them?
To unalive all of them, of course.
And God has commanded the unaliving of all of them, right?
For certain tribes, yeah.
Okay.
Not just all of them, point blank,
Okay.
yeah.
So then it stands to reason that the less extreme slap babies is within the realm of things that he could command, right?
Also, just to be clear, in the Great Flood, Noah, his wife, his 3 children, and their wives are not babies. So he does command actually that all babies be slaughtered. You continue to make the suggestion that the God character would never do, and then fill in the blank with things that the God character in the Bible does repeatedly.
That's a good point. Then I would say never do without any logic or reason behind it.
Well, you're just justifying why someone would do a horrible thing. Can I ask you, listen, you have listened to Jeff, you have listened to the Bible guy, you have listened to Arwen, all try to explain to you the difference between morality and obedience. And you get it, because when you're talking about humans or human actions, you understand it easily. And then when you relate those actions to God, you just regress to this words don't mean words thing. Religion.
Oh, no, it's because God can do whatever he wants.
Please let me finish.
Sorry.
Morality is doing what's right no matter what you're told. And your religion is doing what you're told no matter what's right. So how would you know if the God character of the Bible were evil and we're just tricking you into believing that you should be obedient to him? What indicators would you have that the God character of the Bible is actually the Satan character of the Bible?
He already admitted that he wouldn't
Dalton
know.
already asked him this, and he gave the answer that he wouldn't know. There's no way that he would know.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't you just follow a God you don't know if they're good or not?
Real quick,
I
I'm
do know that
gonna
he's
leave you
good.
with this because then I'm gonna
That's what I
drop.
believe anyways.
Hold on, I'm gonna leave you with this because then I'm gonna drop. Right? If you are saying that it's just the guy on the throne doing a thing, right? And now you're admitting that the hypothetical is not unrealistic or disingenuous because it is possible by your lights, right?
What hypothetical again?
The one about the slapping babies that you just said is realistic, right? By your lights, that hypothetical is realistic, right?
Yes.
Okay. And now I'm giving, and by the way, the times where he has commanded to unalive babies, it wasn't with logic and reason. Like I can just the Amalekite slaughter, huh?
Not that you know of, yeah.
No.
Nor
He
me.
gives you the reason, but it's not a reason.
Well, with the Amalekites, it's because they were Israel's long-term enemy for hundreds of years.
Nope. That's not why. He tells you why. He tells you because they did a thing 400 years ago, not because they've been your enemy for this long.
Yeah, the Israelites seem to still really be holding that beef for a while, though. They
Yeah,
seem
that's
very
I'm not talking about
antagonistic
the
and thinking
Israelites.
character.
I'm talking about God's reason that he gives. He says Amalek did a thing when you left Egypt, which was 400 years prior. Therefore, all of these people who ain't had shit to do with it, I'm a involve them in the beef like I'm 50 Cent. Like that's the reason. Do you think that's a logical and reasonable reason?
I think that there are also other reasons, but yeah, I would say that even that is a logical reason, yeah.
Then you're insane. All right. Thanks, Arwen.
See you later, Dalton.
Thank you, Jeff.
Equality. Oh, Sticks is here. Dope. I'll see y'all later. Yeah, it's insane to say, like, hey, somebody did something 400 years ago and there's no effects of it today. We're good, but we're going to go unalive every single member of your tribe. That's nonsense. All right. See y'all later.
Well, Squimch,
His
I
whole
think
entire position is nonsense, and I feel like all of the atheists who have been here, myself included, have done a really good job of demonstrating how nonsense his position is.
It makes sense. We just disagree.
No, it fucking
Like-
doesn't, dude.
it doesn't make sense. You are
Dis-
you. Sorry,
Let's
you are.
Sticks up. Let's Sticks have his shot.
Look, it seems as though we have a disagreement on the terms being used here. Because if you're calling God good and just, right? It's kind of like this. Like, look, if we said that like, just God is triangle shaped, right? And what we mean by triangle shaped is just like three sides connected, right? And then you say, yeah, God's triangle shaped, and He has four sides. It seems like we're just talking about different things. It seems like when you say just and good and merciful and stuff, and then we point out things that are just incongruent with that description, with those words as the way we use them. I don't know what you mean. Like if punishing innocent babies for something their ancestors did 400 years ago is considered just, then I don't know what that word means anymore. It's like saying God is a triangle and He has four sides. It doesn't make any sense.
Just is God and God is just. Good
Oh,
is
sorry,
God
I
and
was on
God is
mute.
good. That's his answer to all of this.
Yes, no, I do believe that God is just.
Yeah, it's lazy.
Yeah, the only reason you believe God is just is because just is God, right? It's just circular as fuck. You have no actual reason to say that God is just.
Yeah, like what is just picking out? What is the referent when you say just?
Fair.
What does fair mean? What would be an example of fairness?
Well, of course, in the context with the slaughtering of the Amalekites, I believe that it is not illogical. Although I don't understand the entirety of the logic behind it, I guess you could say that I have faith that that was done and that was a just thing to do. I don't
Well, hold
understand.
on. I would say it
the
is
entirety of the whole
illogical
debate.
because if we're using the semantics here and we're saying God is just, and what justice means is fairness, and then God does an unjust thing, then that's a P and not P.
Well, I don't think that it's an unjust thing.
Okay, but I don't know. That's like saying I don't think a triangle has four, or I don't think a triangle has three sides. It's like You're using the term, calling God this thing, and then when we try to pick out a referent or like pick out something that word means, and we describe it, God does not do that thing. So you're just pardon me. You're just saying like if like God is love and love is God, you've collapsed it into a tautology, insofar as you're just saying God is God.
Tautology meaning what?
Tautology. It means like if you say like love is God and God is love, then all you're saying is God, right? And so when we're trying to pick out what that word means, just, or give examples of what that means, and we talk about it and we flesh it out, and then it turns out that God is not that thing, but then you're just redefining it as the thing God does. I don't know what you're talking about anymore. If justice means fairness, and semantically we can just say that it means like giving people the punishment they deserve or something, and then God does not do that thing, then and you could just call Him just. What are you talking about?
Then and I understand it, that's well articulated, and thank you, but it presupposes that there is just like this objective righteous punishment or judgment outside of God, and I don't know where you would arrive at that.
No, we don't have to look. Like we can get into like our meta-ethical views and stuff and the commitments we have, but all we're saying is that when you define the word just as being fair and giving people the punishment they deserve, we don't have to talk about whether or not it was morally permissible. What we just have to talk about is that God is doing things incongruent with that description. Like God is doing things that are unjust. Now, whether or not they're morally permissible is a different question.
Again, and I don't mean to be repetitive or anything, I am not of the belief that they are unjust, hence the semantic problem, if you will.
And you're picking out justice as if it has like some sort of meaning, right? And if by justice all you mean is whatever God does, then all you're saying is God does things, and those things are God's things He does. Like there's no referent anymore. Justice has no meaning. You collapse the semantics or like the definition of that word into just God's action.
That is how I perceive it. So you're right. And perhaps you might perceive that as a grave intellectual failure or something. But the way that you've articulated it is how I perceive it. So it's like that's the impasse. And you've
Yeah, I mean,
articulated it well.
I've been telling you this since you came up, dude. You're intellectually lazy. You don't actually want to think for yourself. You want this overlord to think for you and just be a robot for him, which is what you're doing.
Yeah, you're just a drone, is all you are.
Yeah, you're just literally. You might as well not have a brain at all. You're just a robot.
Well, you're certainly right. That is what I'm striving for, is obedience to this. Yes. So it's like you're right. If that's how you want to frame it, then yes, you're right. I agree.
That you're not a moral agent, and if you're not a moral agent, then we shouldn't take moral advice from you because you don't
I'm
know.
not offering you moral advice.
I know you're just a good little boy, aren't you? Just a
Yeah,
obedient.
I'm trying to be.
You're just one of the SS members following orders.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be an SS member, of course, but yes, I am trying to be obedient to the
You would
commands
try
of
to
God.
be an SS member if God told you to do it because you think it was the perfectly good thing to do, and you just want to follow what God tells you to do. Again, I say, according to your own worldview and the way you see things, there is nothing morally off the table as long as God is the one telling you to do it. Because you just said yourself, you strive to just do whatever the fuck he says.
Even
there is
you might perceive that as something
there is
bad.
absolutely nothing that is immoral. There's nothing bad in your worldview. You're just waiting for you can think that something's bad until the second God tells you to do it, and then it becomes morally perfect. There's no
Why do you
have
keep
nothing.
supposing that
You
he's
are
just going to
nothing.
appear to me? And then
I'm not presupposing that. I don't think God is real. I don't think God is ever going to come to you and do these things. But let's say I do think that you have some sort of mental health issue, honestly. And let's just say that your mental health issues get to the point where you're hearing voices and you're seeing things. You could convince yourself that God is telling you to do fucked up shit, and you would do it because your whole paradigm is just following his orders. If someday you woke up and you started seeing shit that wasn't there and you thought it was God and that shit was telling you to do terrible things, you would do it. And that's dangerous. Very dangerous.
Even Abraham, who quite literally fucked his own sister, has more moral agency than you do, because when Yahweh said he was going to wipe out the people of Sodom, Abraham called him out on his bullshit and got Yahweh to change his mind, at least to a certain degree. If Abraham's able to call Yahweh out on his bullshit and he's a sister fucker, but you're not able to do so, I mean, what does that say about you?
I mean, according to his paradigm, God doesn't have any bullshit. The second God tells you to do something is the second that it becomes morally perfect. Oh, Joel's back. But I do have to end this live. So everybody say your final piece and then I'm out of here.
Okay, so everyone, I'm going to be live on Deep Evangelicals on the line today at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and that will be the last time that I go live for the rest of the week. I'm taking a week off. So if you want to get one last hit of the Bible guy, make sure you clock into the line at 5 p.m. tonight.
Also, last thing, Arwen actually DM'd me and said that I'm her best friend, not Joel and E. Bye.
That makes sense.
Well, thank you guys for the conversation. I enjoy talking to you guys. I know that we obviously disagree, but genuinely, thank you.
I cannot stress to you how bad of a time I had talking to you. I genuinely think that you are a terrible person, and anybody who thinks like you needs mental intervention immediately.
Well, thank you. I don't think the same of you. I enjoy the conversation.
Yeah, because I'm actually a good person and I actually have morals.
Squamage, follow me, and I want to explore this a bit more with you on my live sometime.
All right. Well, as absolutely terrible as that last guest was, bye everybody. Love you, except for the people that I don't, especially you, Ray J. I think you fucking